See it now, Kath? What's up, guys?
Yes, I see it.
Welcome back to the FlightLife YouTube channel. Let me know in the chat. We are working on new software over here on our end. So let me know in the chat if you can hear Kathy. Kathy, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Let me know if you guys can hear her and if you guys can hear me okay. Like I said, we're just testing out new things over here on our end. But welcome back to the FlightLife YouTube channel, your home for all things adventuring, exploring, overcoming anxiety, film, music videos, audio and video productions. Pretty much all things get out and live your best life. And home of the Truth Tracker investigation series. If we can shoot awesome content, audio and video, then why can't we use those same skills for good? Hey, that's how I look at it. Sorry, I'm a little under the weather today. I've been feeling under the weather a lot lately. I don't know what's been going on with me. I've been tired, exhausted. Recently started a new job, so it kind of pulled me away from the investigation, guys. I'm sorry about that.
The job did it.
Yeah, the job wore me out. Yep. And also we have Kathy with us on the live stream, aka Truth Seeker. How you doing, Kathy? I might have said
I'm doing
that.
good. I'm doing good. I just had doctor's appointments today, and I woke up early enough this morning to catch the Nicholas Cruz hearing, and I popped out 3 videos on that. Then I had to go to the doctor. Then by the time I got home, all hell broke loose with Brian Laundrie stuff. So I'm just exhausted from my head going in a million directions.
Me too. Are you seeing people in the chat? Because I haven't seen nobody chat yet. I want to make sure they can hear us okay.
Epiphany was in a few minutes ago, but it was before we started.
Okay.
And now that we've started, I don't see anybody, but let me refresh just to make sure.
Yeah, I'm looking too. Like I said.
No, I'm not seeing anyone. I got 8 watching. There we go. Night Owl can hear. Hi,
Okay,
Night
good.
Owl.
We just checking Night Owl because we going live on these computers can be super difficult sometimes, and you'll be talking and not even know. So what we're going to be looking at today, guys, is I'll show you a quick peek at it real quick. So what I did is the map that you guys have been seeing through all of the live streams that I've done in the past about the investigation, me and Kathy, aka Truth Seeker, what the map you guys were seeing was all from Google Earth. And I really wanted to be able to collaborate with some people with this map. So I took the entire map and I turned it into an interactive map that I could now share out amongst whoever I wanted to share with me on the investigation. And we're working together on the map, and we can plot whatever we want on the map, and it's all interactive, whoever I share it with. So this is the map, and we have some things turned off, but if you look over here on the left-hand side, you can see, while also plotting on the map, it's also building the timeline. And this is a crazy timeline to put together. And then
you did a lot of work.
Yeah, I did a lot of work, I guess. But like I have things turned off, but it's as simple as 1 or 2 clicks, and I could turn on like navigating from point A to point B. I could see all that. And then we also, a lot of commenters last time we went live were telling me and Kathy about the Dirt website. And I went on to the Dirt website, and I seen that I seen that Brian and Gabby had plotted all the places they wanted to go in the future on the Dirt website list. So when you're looking at this map, all the green icons are actually now from the Dirt website. And it shows all the places that they thought about before, I'm guessing before the trip. All the places they were thinking about hitting. And when you look at the map like this, what's crazy is it really brings together, like, okay, it's showing you, like, there's a trend here where they were going. So we're going to be looking at that. And then also, I built so I took all of their social media posts, guys. And I was working with Kathy on this a lot. I took all of their social media posts, and instead of having to jump back and forth from Instagram to Dirt to whatever, I took all of their social media posts and their dirt website stuff, and I just grabbed it. I recorded all the videos, and I added them all to a full presentation lined up with the dates of where they were that day, with all of their social media hooked in from across the internet. And I'm talking not just pictures, I'm talking I took all of their videos and also put them in this presentation. And we're going to be going through this presentation today. All their videos, all their pictures, the dirt website, where they wanted or were planning to go, like this, which I'm sure a lot of you guys probably haven't seen yet. They had wrote a lot of reviews on the dirt website of places they went, and a lot of people don't know about that. Remember we were talking about that, Kathy?
Yeah.
So
that was good. Someone in the chat gave you that hint to go to dirt, because you found a ton of stuff there.
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff on the dirt website. And then on top
they had the
of
dirt
it,
website and then the dirt YouTube, and it was like you could find just about anything you were looking for.
Yep. And then on top of it, I even got all their TikTok videos, which a lot of people haven't seen. Like, you'll see camera angles like this that you've never seen looking into the case. These are TikTok videos in the timeline on their correct dates in this presentation. And we're going to be looking at that. And
well, I think a lot of people maybe have seen these things, but you see them in bits and pieces on different days of the week.
Right.
So by you having them all together in one presentation, it's like they're all in one place. If you want to go back and review them, you can find them all here. You just got to rewind and fast forward if you're looking for a particular one. Instead of going to TikTok trying to find a post that was from 7 weeks ago, this just makes it so much user-friendly.
Yep. And eventually, I've been talking to Kathy about it and trying to think of a way to do it, but eventually I might make this shareable where people could download it. But I don't really necessarily 100% know how to do that yet. So that's just a possibility. And like on the dirt website, they put pictures and videos up. Look, this is from the dirt website. And this is a site not a lot of people knew about that they did go to, which is FR 117 Dispersed Dixie National Forest. Not a lot of people know about that, Kathy. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that site really trips me out because no one really knew about that. But so what we're gonna do is, let's jump back over to the stream and starting screen. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna let the room fill up a little bit. So we're gonna play a video, and then we also have the update video from earlier today about the possibility, guys, that Brian Laundrie has been found. So we're gonna play a video, and we'll be right back with you guys.
Well, before her disappearance, Gabby Petito documented her cross-country journey with her fiance online. When she was reported missing on September 11th, the case was everywhere, including on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. As it turns out, social media users may have helped authorities find Gabby, but the hunt still continues for her fiance, Brian Laundrie, who is a person of interest in the case. Jerika Duncan reports on this week's 48 Hours.
In July 2021, Gabby Petito and her fiancé, Brian Laundrie, began what looked like a romantic adventure full of promise.
I love the band.
Rose Davis, one of Gabby's closest friends, says the couple was in love, but there was also something going on behind the scenes.
I was concerned with them spending that much time together. When I was last seeing them and everything, they were rocky.
On August 12th, Moab, Utah police were dispatched when a 911 caller reported seeing a confrontation between Gabby and Brian.
We drove by and the gentleman was slapping the girl.
What's going on? How come you're crying?
I'm just sorry. We've just been fighting this morning. Some personal issues.
It's unclear if officers at the scene were given the details of the 911 call. Gabby never mentioned Brian hitting her, but Brian told police that Gabby attacked him. Police separated them for the night and they continued their journey. 2 weeks later, the cross-country journey documented on social media turned into a cross-country virtual search party. The question was, where was Gabby Petito?
Brian got back to Florida to here in Northport September 1st after she was last heard from on the 25th. He was in her van but did not come back with her. They'd been seen on police body cam video on the 12th in Utah after an argument led to a police investigation there. Nobody was arrested. No charges were filed. Brian admitted to police officers there that you saw on the body cam footage that the time they had spent together was weighing on their relationship and leading to arguments. This case, of course, now takes on increased urgency as there's a missing persons case.
One van life couple been paying close attention to Gabby's story, Kyle and Jen Bethune. When Jen saw a post that Gabby and Brian had been in the Tetons in Wyoming on the same night that they had been, she rushed to her computer to view footage of their trip.
And I saw that white speck of van, and I was like, please keep going, please keep going. And it did, and it got bigger and bigger.
We just, some reason, instantly knew that it was hers.
The Bethunes say they called the FBI and uploaded their footage to the FBI website. Came the announcement that everyone had been dreading.
Human remains were discovered.
Gabby's remains had been found a 4-minute walk from where the Bethunes had spotted the van.
And now this breaking news just moments ago. Authorities say Brian is also missing.
We're continuing to follow the search for Brian Laundrie. It's been over a week since anyone has heard from him. Just yesterday, the investigation into his fiance, Gabby Petito, went from a missing persons case to a homicide. And now search crews are focusing their attention on this nature reserve in Venice. And that's where Fox 13's Kimberly Cuisin joins us live. So, Kim, you have been following this story since day one. Walk us through what led investigators to the Carlton Reserve in the...
Hi, Linda. Well, what led investigators to the Carlton Reserve was Brian Laundrie's parents. On Friday night, when they reported him, quote, missing, they told investigators that this was the area that Brian was coming to on Tuesday. They said that they saw him walk out of their house with a backpack, supposedly jump into that Mustang, and go to the Myakkahatchee entrance, which goes into the Carlton Reserve. So they're basing this search on tips from the parents at this point in time.
We are out here, Laundrie family. Why don't you give a public statement and ask Brian to turn himself in? How come when Gabby was missing, you didn't help with the search? You need to come forward and give authorities information and cooperate immediately. Not tomorrow, not the next day, now.
We're looking through wooded areas. We're looking through bodies of water. We're looking through swampy areas, and we're deploying the resources to be able to do that. We have air units, we have drones, we have the swamp buggies, air boats, multiple law enforcement agencies, we have ATVs, we have UTVs, and we have officers on foot as well. So we're deploying every resource to get through any terrain that we encounter in our search areas.
All right, so you know him as Dog the Bounty Hunter, but his real name is Dwayne Chapman. The reality TV personality visited the family home of Brian Laundrie on Saturday afternoon. He knocked on the door several times, even getting the neighbors to come out of their homes to see who was on their street. Other than looking around the side of the home, the bounty hunter saw no action. No one answered the door.
So the reason I went to Mr. Laundrie is because I carry a reputation with me that I have is to, now we work off leads, okay? We don't have a crystal ball where we can say, oh, there's where he's at. Well, now we work off leads. Somebody knows something.
Arrest Brian! Arrest Brian! Arrest Brian! Bring Gabby home! Where's Gabby? Laundrie! Where's Gabby?
We are learning more about a trip Brian Laundrie's parents took recently to Fort DeSoto Park in Pinellas County. According to police, they visited the campground after Brian returned to Florida and before Gabby's body was found.
We're down here in Florida in Fort DeSoto. It's almost dark. So we had a very good lead come up today that he was down here in this park not very far away. We checked our lead out. It is confirmed. The parents were down here 2 times. It was September 1st through the 3rd and September 6th through the 8th. They registered to stay at this park. They were registered, went through the gate, they're on camera, they were here. And they did enter, they did come here. Allegedly, what we're hearing is 2 people left on the 8th, 3 people came in on the 6th, and 2 people left on the 8th. I think he's been here for sure.
Pinellas County shows Brian's mother, Roberta, made a camping reservation at Fort DeSoto Park from September 6th through the 8th. There are new questions about the Laundrie family's visit to the waterfront campground at Fort DeSoto Park. 11 days after Roberta Laundrie's reservation that began on Labor Day Monday, the parents reported their son missing to Northport police. Laundrie family attorney Stephen Bertolino tells 8 on Your Side the family camped from 9/6 to 9/7 and they all left the park.
We have some new developments tonight in the search for Brian Laundrie. The Laundrie family attorney says that Brian's father, Christopher Laundrie, was asked to assist law enforcement in their search of the Carlton Reserve today. The attorney added that the Northport police postponed his participation, saying, quote, "The Laundries are hopeful there will be another opportunity to assist." End quote. A spokesman for Northport Police also told Fox News tonight his department did not make that request, nor would they be the asking agency in an FBI-led investigation. Meantime, the family of Gabby Petito, they're speaking out. After the last few days, they have appeared on the Dr. Phil show. Gabby's parents and step-parents are opening up, saying at the end of August, they were concerned for both Brian and Gabby after they hadn't heard from them. It wasn't until after contacting detectives that they learned Brian was home, Gabby was not. They told Dr. Phil that his parents never responded to any of their calls or any of their texts, and that it's all been an emotional roller coaster.
How do you feel about it?
I'm angry. I know who the last person was that was with her. I can't point fingers until we know for sure, but...
Gabby's family went on to tell Dr. Phil they do believe Brian is alive, and they asked Brian to turn himself in.
Good afternoon. My name is Michael McPherson. I'm the special agent in charge of the FBI Tampa Division. As you're aware, the FBI and the Northport Police Department and our state and local law enforcement partners have been searching the area of the Carlton Reserve for Brian Laundrie, a person of interest in the murder of Gabby Petito. Earlier today, investigators found what appears to be human remains, along with personal items such as a backpack and notebook belonging to Brian Laundrie. These items were found in an area that up until recently...
Chris, that video's coming in and out a little bit. That last one it was kind of choppy.
...is on scene using all available forensic resources to process the area. It's likely the team will be on scene for several days. I know you have a lot of questions, but we don't have all the answers yet. We are working diligently to get those answers for you. We are grateful for the dedication and professionalism of the Northport Police Department, along with our partners from the state and local agencies. Complex investigations such as this cannot be accomplished by one agency alone, but there are just too many agencies to name them all here today. Portions of the Myakkahatchee Creek Environment Park and Carlton Reserve will remain closed to the public until further notice. This is an active and ongoing investigation, so we ask the public to maintain distance from any law enforcement personnel, equipment, vehicles, and other related activity for the safety of the public and to protect the integrity of our work. We have no additional comment related to today's activities. Our FBI Denver office is the lead investigative agency, and all future inquiries should be directed to them. We appreciate the tremendous support from the public and continue to ask for your assistance in bringing this investigation to close. Thank you.
Was the backpack found near the body? Justice for Gabby! 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 Justice for Gabby!
All right, guys. So I don't know what was going on with that first video. I don't know why it was running so choppy. Kathy, you still with me?
Yeah, I'm still with you. Mac just got in the chat. A couple new people have come in. They wanted to give you a quick rundown of what's coming up. So I know you were playing the videos to stall till more people got here. So maybe you could give that introduction again before you go into it. We've got a few more in the chat room now, so they probably don't know what's up.
Well, we're gonna go right into that bulk of the video anyway right this second. But I seen that you sent me a picture, didn't you?
Yeah, I sent you that picture because somebody in the chat was talking about the FBI with that bag, and Fox News was there. The Laundries were in that place for 20 minutes or so at 7 a.m. when the cops showed up. They got there first, and Fox News got a shot of them carrying that bag in, and that is the picture that I sent you. Now, I might add as a disclaimer, this crap's all coming off Facebook, Twitter, all kinds of crap. So it's like, who really knows? But supposedly, this is the bag that they found and gave to the FBI. And then the FBI found the backpack, coincidentally, right by the remains.
So they're saying that they carried the bag in, the parents.
Well, there's different stories all over TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter and Facebook today. After this got announced, it was a total shitstorm. I mean, every conspiracy you can imagine has come out of this. So, I mean, nobody really knows. But the official story is what we got from the FBI. But we know because it's an investigation, they're going to hold back some stuff. Mm-hmm. And, you know, the one report about them going at 7 a.m. alone came from one of those people that's outside in front of their house every day filming stuff. So I kind of tend to trust her because they've been like getting in the car following them. You know, like they followed them when they went to Walmart, took pictures of what was in the grocery cart. So, I mean, there's some people I tend to believe more than others. But right now, this case has taken such a, hi, Ronnie, has taken such a crazy turn that it's just opened up a whole ton more questions. And I think in the next couple days, this is going to get very busy and unwind fast. So I'm kind of glad you're doing your map and your slideshow today to get like this taken care of, because I have a feeling our next live stream is going to be covered with trying to figure out what the hell happened. Because there's something weird going on. And, you know, when they found Gabby's body, her stepdad was there. He identified a piece of clothing, even though she was decomposed and maybe scattered. He ID'd her, and they announced it right away that it was her. Well, now all of a sudden there's this body today, and it's like, well, you know, I don't know. We're going to need a couple days. So it's like either he's in a really, really bad shape, or it's something that's been there for a long time. Like, you know, some person could have died long ago. And they even made the statement that they found what they believe to be human remains. So it's like, well, how can you not tell if it's human or not, even if it's scattered, you know, the size of a skull? So it's like, I don't know what condition this body's in that they found. And they're officially not technically saying it's a human yet, or that it's Brian. But I would think that if there was any way, shape, or form to it, they would have brought his parents out there like they did Gabby's stepdad and said, hey, is this your kid? And they would have said, oh, yeah, those are the tennis shoes he was wearing or the T-shirt or whatever. But they're not. So this thing could be ripped to shreds and dragged all around. You just don't know. Out there all this time with animals, it was so rainy in the swamp. There was you know, alligators and all that stuff out there and turtles. So on top of the fact of being in the water changes the decomposition process as far as them trying to date an exact time of death. So it's like, this is going to get real interesting real quick.
Yeah, it just what agitates me is like the family from the beginning just not wanting to help, and like it things just don't make sense all the way to me about the whole scenario, about the way the police acted, about the way the FBI acted. I hope they find this man alive because we need some answers. And
well, the thing with the FBI and everything that's so strange is it's like they've had a huge over $1 million manhunt in that area forever. And this stuff was found right by where that Mustang was. Right. You know, the Mustang that got the tickets that the parents had to go remove or got the citation or whatever. So it's like so the parents walk in at the entrance near where that thing is, and lo and behold, they find these belongings. And it's like, you mean to tell me the cops missed that shit? We've either got a really incompetent police department or something fishy's going on. But these are the same police that at the beginning said, oh, we know exactly where he is. And then it's like, well, apparently it didn't because he's not at his parents' house. He's gone. All right, Kathy, so I don't know if the police are incompetent or if there's something fishy going on.
Real quick, if you want to switch to Skype just to look back really quick, I have that picture up that you sent me now. So this is the picture, right? If you can switch back to Skype and see it.
Yes, so that's the picture. So if you can screenshot that and show them.
Yeah, they're seeing it. They're seeing it too right now.
All right, other people, they're seeing it. Yeah, there we go. Now, other people have said this bag just doesn't look dirty enough. And I'm thinking if it was stuck in mud water all that time, it doesn't look dirty enough. And what it resembles to me is when some people go shopping, especially if you live in Florida, they use those bags to keep their stuff cold or keep their stuff warm to get it from the grocery store to home. Kind of like the stuff pizza people use, but they sell them for people to buy groceries. It kind of, when you look up close, really close on the photograph, it kind of looks like that kind of bag. And then there were other pictures, which I don't have in here, of them actually showing the bag close up. And it's just really strange because of the way the bag looks. Hang on a second. I'm going through some messages on Messenger.
Elisa, I did get your message or your comment, and I see that you were commenting on the side. If I could look at the audio of the I know what you're talking about, but yeah, I can check that out for you. I'm not gonna pull it up in this live stream, because the software we're running, it's already was lagging a little bit when we were playing that first video.
Chris, I just sent you a link. This is the link from Fox that Ronnie in the chat had sent me earlier today. This shows an up close picture.
Can you send it to me in the yeah, okay. I'll grab it. So what is it?
Did you grab it? Yeah, you're going to confuse it too much. It's a Fox article, but it's got photos in it of this bag I'm talking about. Ronnie sent it to me earlier today, and you can really get a good look at this bag. And it, people are saying it's not dirty enough, and I'm saying it looks like those bags you use at the grocery store if you're putting something hot or cold in it and you want it to keep till you get home and get it in your fridge, which a lot of people in like Texas and Florida and hot places use. So I don't know. They're calling it a backpack, but it's like it just looks different to me.
So who's this in the picture? The father?
This is supposedly the dad in the picture.
And that's supposedly the bag they took out that they're saying is Brian's.
Well, go to that other article I sent you and see when you open that up if you see better pictures of this, because I think this came out of that article.
Okay.
I know there were other pictures attached to it.
So, and then I seen they said they found a binder also.
They found a notebook too, and we aren't sure if the notebook was like one of those ones he writes his creepy stories in, or if he left a suicide note. It's like no one's really sure what this this book is or notebook that they supposedly found. I mean, there could be a suicide note in it for all we want. But yeah, when you open up that Fox link and start searching through, it's got really, really good up-close pictures of what happened this morning.
All right.
Except it's full of click ad stuff, so be careful of that.
So I have it open if you want to switch back over to Skype for a second. So it says, Brian Laundrie search, human remains found near fugitives' belongings in Florida park. Coroner's arrival comes hours after Brian's parents, law enforcement seen inspecting a bag at Myakkahatchee Creek Environmental Park.
Now there's some videos in
Wednesday
this article
morning.
too.
Okay.
I think the videos in the article are what are going to show you this bag. Actually, at the very top of the article, it's a slideshow.
Gotcha.
And I think that's where the pictures came from. Yeah, go to the slideshow. It's after the first video, but a little farther down from where you were reading.
Mm-hmm.
It says exclusive images obtained by Fox. Go click through those on the live share and let people get an up-close look of them.
I'm having
It's
some
not
lag
that video
issues,
there. Scroll down.
so it might be a little bit slow. You talking about these pictures right here of the parents?
I think we got a lag.
Yeah, it's been a little bit lagged. Right now I'm looking at the picture of the parents, and it's like a slideshow of pictures. So yeah, I see the mom has like a red backpack on her back.
Yeah, these are the pictures you need to go through. Keep clicking through those pictures. Is there a way you can get... No, I guess you can't get the screen bigger because it's an article. But yeah, a couple more clicks and you're going to see that bag really good.
Okay.
The white bag. And it just looks fishy to me. And I'm not sure if that's the bag they found or what... that bag. See that?
Yeah.
That doesn't look like I would call a backpack.
Are you looking? So you're looking at the picture, right? Are you talking about the picture of the father again?
The white bag. Well, the white bag, see, that's the dad in the blue shirt. So when you see that white bag, somebody else is carrying it, not the dad.
Oh, the white bag.
If you click back to it.
Okay, I got it. So I'm looking at the bag. It looks like, I didn't think it was a bag. It looked more like a tarp or something like that. And it has clips on the side of it, like weird clips.
You're not on the picture, though. You're on something else here.
Oh, which you talking about the white thing in the hand? Is that what you're saying?
The thing where they show the guy in the brown pants with the white thing in his hand, with the clips.
Are you looking at Skype or are you looking at YouTube?
YouTube.
Yeah,
I see it on YouTube now. Yeah. We must just probably have a delay. I don't know if that's the bag they found or if that's just a bag they're collecting stuff in. They just said that they found a backpack that appeared to be with his belongings, but they weren't even confirming that.
Right.
Same with the notebook.
Yeah, if you're looking at YouTube, it's going to be delayed a little bit. But if you switch to Skype, you'll see right where I'm at in time. So I know it's tough, but when you can, switch around. Don't stay on Skype, though. Just switch so you can see right where I'm at and then switch back when you can. But yeah, so the white bag with like the clips on the side, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when I first saw this, it looked like kind of like a tarp to me. But like, I don't know how the police.
Ellie's saying it's an evidence bag.
An evidence bag?
Yeah, and the guy in the brown pants is an officer because that's not what the dad was wearing when they showed him. So the guy carrying that bag's not the dad.
I see Iced Coffee said, looks like a dry bag. Elisa said that white bag would be an evidence bag. TX Guy. What's up, TX Guy? Welcome to the stream.
Ronnie Girl's saying that was an agent carrying it after Chris handed it over, a half hour after carrying it around. She's been doing the rounds on Twitter and TikTok and everything today, collecting everything she could find, too. She sends me a lot of stuff.
Okay.
Hello to everyone in the chat. I was busy talking, so I didn't type your names in for the new people, but welcome to the chat.
So that must have been like a click ad that started playing. I don't know where it started playing from. But yeah, I'm just gonna go. I mean, it does look like an officer. And when you see the parents like that. So this looks like the guy who was holding the white bag right here in this picture, which is this doesn't look like the father. See, for a minute when we first saw
the father's
this picture,
got a white T-shirt on, and this other guy who's the FBI agent or whatever has a long sleeve blue shirt on.
Brian Laundrie's parents either decided on their own or
damn video ads. Yeah.
So you're right. That guy we're seeing right there with like the I don't know, fishing hat on or whatever, that's looking at the bag. He's that same person that's holding it up close. That's not the father.
Yeah,
He's dressed.
This is like an officer or
Yeah, well,
detective
Fox
or
was
something.
in there taking all these pictures, and it's like, I mean, they got spread all over the internet today, and it's like, I don't think half the people know what they are. Everyone's just trying to throw around what if this and what if that, you know?
Yeah.
It's been a crazy kind of a day. Hi, Tex guy.
And it looks like, it kind of looks like that white bag that we're seeing in that picture. He's looking at it on the ground in this picture. Did you notice that?
No, well, Iced Coffee's in there saying that picture was taken when the cop or FBI guy was showing the Laundries what they found. But
Yeah.
Ronnie's saying that the parents found it and handed it over a half hour later to the cops. So I think there's so much information floating around out there online. And it's like, it's not worth anyone really arguing over, because it's like, in due time, we'll find out when they tell us. But it's like, nobody really knows what the hell happened at that reserve today, or what the hell they're going to tell us in 2 days or 3 days about, you know, was it Brian's stuff for sure? Was it Brian's body? You know, if it wasn't Brian's body, did like somebody catch him back there and he killed him and took off? I mean, you could go a million different ways with this, but I do feel like those reporters out in their yard doing all that crap, right now they should back off, because if these people did lose a son, it's like, okay, their son might have been a cold-blooded murderer and a horrible person, but it's still their son. And if he did get killed out there eaten by alligators or whatever, it's like, I do have sympathy for his parents that lost a son. You know, it's not technically their fault that he was what he was. So it's like, yeah, I think those people need to get out of that neighborhood and like let those people mourn if it is Brian.
Well, it depends, because they might have helped him too in the cover-up of her death, though. So.
Oh, for sure, for sure. But
so
like,
it kind of goes both ways.
Even if they did, you got to give them like a little bit of time to like absorb this and mourn. Then yeah, go back after them. The Petitos are going to probably file lawsuits and stuff after these investigations are over. You know, they'll find some way to nail those Laundries, but for right now, it's like, give them a couple days to mourn, you know? I mean, that's just me being big-hearted, but
what if I was all set up?
Front of the house, I kind of wonder about it being a setup, too. I think something's very, very fishy about this. It's like, it just doesn't smell right to me.
Like if we go back, like you were talking about earlier, about the car being at the reserve, and then the parents went back and got the car, and he was never really seen going into the reserve.
And 2 camping trips and the flight home, and I mean, there's just so much. But anyways, if you want to go into your presentation and get that stuff done, then maybe we can chit chat about what happened today later. But I know that you've been dying to get this, you know, so the slideshow and the map thing shown to the people in chat. Yeah. So if you want to do that, because, yeah, we could go on forever speculating about this. So maybe we'll do that after you get the stuff done that, like, you really, really wanted to get done the other day. But, yeah, we couldn't get it all hooked up yet.
Right. Just one more thing before we jump to that. With this picture, so, yeah, if that is the... That must be the object on the ground, though, in this picture right here that they're looking at. I'm just making mental note of that, if that's possible, that is the object or the bag or whatever it is on the ground in that picture right there. But yeah, we'll move over to the presentation. Sorry guys if I'm a little lagged. I've been so under the weather. I've been so tired and exhausted. I don't know what's been going on with me, guys. But I'm
started a new job.
Yeah, started a new job, and they're kind of driving me crazy a little bit. So yeah, let's dive into our presentation tonight, guys. And I'm gonna explain.
You guys are gonna love this.
So, like I was saying at the beginning of the video, when I first kicked the video off. So the map that you guys have been seeing on my live streams have all been through Google Earth. And what I wanted to do was, since I was working with Kathy a lot and I was trying to show other people what was going on with the case and all that, is I wanted to take the Google Earth, everything I had on Google Earth, and put it on an interactive map that I could share with people. So all my information on the map would now be able to be shared with everyone, who can then do their own investigations, and they could have their own timeline of events and have their own interactive map. And instead of me having to sit there and explain in a video for 9 hours like I did, you would have your own interactive map. So that's what you're looking at now. This is the interactive map. Now, I don't have the driving routes turned on the interactive map, but it's only a click, and I can start turning it on, like the driving points. Another thing is, so we got a lot of emails from people asking about the DIRT website. The DIRT website. The DIRT website is a website, and you would have seen it in the thumbnail at the beginning of this video. The DIRT website is a website for like travelers, and what it is travelers can review campsites that they visit and leave a review about it, and they can also make lists of places they want to go. And so Gabby and Brian both used this DIRT website, and they made their own list of possible places they wanted to go. And they also wrote reviews of places that they visited along the trip where at the end Gabby Petito lost her life. So what you're seeing is the red markers on this map right now. And sorry that I'm a little bit lagged, so sometimes I might jump a little too much. But the red markers that you're seeing on the map are all the places that Gabby and Brian visited. And there's a lot more I'm going to show you guys. Just give me 1 second. So this is the interactive map. I might make this downloadable at some point. I'm trying to figure out a way to do it for anybody to be able to download this. But along with this map, I also went into the DIRT website and I plotted all of their want to go list on this map. And when you do that, I'm going to turn it on. So now all the green notifications that just popped up on the screen are now all from the DIRT website list of where Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie wanted to go on their trip. Now they both could have, it looks confusing when you're looking at it like this. I know it does, guys. But I'm gonna break it down even better for you guys in a minute. So all of these green markers, once me and Kathy looked at these on the map of where they wanted to go, that they put on the DIRT website, it shows an even more stronger trend of where they were and when. You still with me, Kathy?
Yep, I'm following along the chat and dropping links, but I'm listening.
Yeah, so
everyone in the chat's quiet, so I think they're intently paying attention too.
So the DIRT website really helped us in figuring out and strengthening the timeline. So Kathy we can also save out of this interactive map. Now, if you look over here on the left side of the screen, here is the full timeline of Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie's trip that they took. And this got to be one of the most thorough timelines of events. And Kathy has a PDF version, right, of the map?
I have got a copy and paste Word document, but you could probably turn it into a PDF. But it's got the whole timeline typed out. But what I think you're trying to let these guys know is each one of these dots that he's got on the map, over here on the left, you can click on something. And when you click on it, it tells you where it is, the location, or what its importance is. Then you go click on the one below it. So you can actually follow this along. And it's like everything he's got on this map, we have typed up on a sheet of paper, that goes date by date by date and has it spelled out in words. But I just did that just to cross match with his map to make sure, I took 3 different timelines in his map and cross matched everything out and looked up articles and found interviews to make sure we had the dates right. So we're pretty sure we have everything right. And if we don't, if you guys go through this map later and you're like, nope, this date's wrong, here's an article that shows whatever, we can always change it. This is like interactive where Chris can make changes. So this is probably the most accurate timeline there is out there that goes along with the map. And you can zoom in on the map, zoom out. It's really cool.
Yeah, and that's just the tip of the iceberg, guys. So like Kathy was just explaining to you, Truth Seeker, you can click on these points and it brings up these boxes. But like Kathy said earlier, Chris couldn't go live until he perfected his map.
We were supposed to go live like the last 3 or 4 nights, and he was like, seriously, still add more. He goes, oh, I found more. So it's not like he didn't have it done because he was lazy. He was working his ass off, adding more to get it perfect. So I messaged him tonight and I said, look, after all this crap that went down today, the shift is going to go to the Brian Laundrie death or capture or whatever. So it's like, hurry up and do your live tonight so we get this information out there before we shift gears. Because I have a feeling in the next couple days here, the gears are going to shift.
Right. So
to Brian, whatever's out in that.
So that's, now I know you guys who have been in the live stream, you're like, another map video. We've seen the map. So what I'm talking about with Kathy is this is just the tip of the iceberg, guys. So when I was perfecting my map, I was doing this. So alongside the interactive map, what I wanted
Can I put the link to the map in here, or do you not want to do that till the end?
I think you could. I don't think
and then
they
can't make changes on it or anything, but they can click around on it and see what you're talking about.
Yeah,
if you can open 2 windows on your browser, guys, you can be like looking at the map while Chris is looking at it, and at the same time be watching YouTube. And I'm not sure if this link will work for you, but it works for me. And then you can kind of see. It's not for this slideshow he's got on the screen right now, but that map he was showing a couple seconds ago, that's the link I just put in there. I don't have a link to this slideshow. That's something else he was working on.
All right, so like I was just saying, thanks, Kathy. Yeah, I think you could share it. Why not? I believe so. They can edit it. We pretty much narrowed that down. Even if someone could get in and edit it, I have copies and I have Google Earth. So
somebody tell me, if you click on that link, does it take you someplace?
So
it should take you to this map.
Yeah, you guys will be able to get a full copy of this interactive map for you guys to use to study deeper into the case. And yeah, Kathy said if she's going to share the link to you guys in the chat.
It's already in there. I just need someone to click on it to tell me if it works, if it actually takes them to a map.
Yeah, guys, click that link in the comments and you'll get a free... It's not a download, right? It just takes you to the map online. It's not a download, guys. You don't have to download nothing. It's right online.
The map says Truth Tracker Series 2. It doesn't say... right underneath it says FlightLife. So you'll know. Like, I opened up the map and bookmarked it, and whenever he adds stuff, I just hit refresh and it'll update.
Yeah, that map's fully interactive with what I do, guys. So anything I add to it, once you refresh it, if I added anything or Kathy added anything or anything got added to that map, it'll refresh on your screen. It's always interactive.
Well, Fran, he's not really worried about getting credit for it because there's no way anyone can really steal it because he's the only one that controls what gets added and what gets deleted. So if somebody else tried to put it on their channel and share it with people, it still says Truth Tracker for FlightLife at the top. And when you're sharing this kind of information with people, it's not like you want to keep it a secret. It's like it's good information that you kind of want people to have and look at and be able to see, as long as they come back and subscribe to Chris's channel. But yeah, it's not like secret information he doesn't want anyone to have. This is like great stuff to share. Because, you know, like if you're in a Facebook group and you put this in there, it's like people can literally go back and click.
They can
go back to the map for a minute, kind of give them the examples of when you click on stuff, how each little thing pops up like the description.
So when you guys are looking at the map, so what you're going to see is this is the easiest way to break down the map and understanding it. On the left-hand side, you'll get a legend like this. Some phones are different, though, and it can get confusing. So if you're on a phone, you can click the 3 right dots up in the top right-hand corner of your phone, and you can open this on Google Maps. So right now, you're looking at it through the map website. But you can open this up on Google Maps, guys, and save these for yourself on your own map and plot them on your own map too. So the easiest way to look at this map is when you look over on the left-hand side, or if you're on a phone, I believe it's at the bottom of the screen, you click on Truth Tracker, and it'll pull up a legend like this. So on the left-hand side, you'll see the top, it's all categories. So the first category is the whole timeline of events, starting from July 2nd, going to Gabby Petito being discovered in Wyoming, her body being discovered. Then it has another category right here, which is directions from 100 Coulter Bay Village. This is the hiking trail, and I'll zoom in so you can see better. So there's another category for Brian Laundrie's hiking path, hitchhiking path that he took.
They're saying you need to find a way to copyright this so you get credit for it. I don't see how anyone could really steal it, though. Your logo's down in the bottom corner.
Right. I'm not really trying to benefit from it like that. I'm trying to help in the case.
Share it, right.
So it's not like something I was trying to benefit from. I was talking to Kathy about maybe like a donation thing, but I'm not trying to. I hate being looked at like I'm trying to benefit from something like this, and I can't stand that. So no, guys.
Well, down in the thing, hang on, I'll put it in the chat. He does have a PayPal link if anyone wants to donate, because he goes through a whole lot of computer equipment and stuff to get some of this stuff done. So, I mean, if someone wants to, buy him a cup of coffee, buy him breakfast one day, something like that, send a little donation.
Yeah, I do have a PayPal link.
I put the PayPal link in there. So, yeah, I mean, it would be greatly appreciated if someone wants to get him something. But he doesn't want to, sell this map to make money.
Yeah, no.
But he does put a lot of work and time into this. And also the computer equipment and programs and stuff he has to get are out of this world.
Yeah, like you're seeing lag right now. That's because I'm in the process of upgrading, so I'm sorry if you guys are seeing a little lag. But I do have some decent equipment, and yeah, I fund it all on my own budget and my own time, and I'm glad I have Kathy to work with me. She's a really great partner to work with. And then you guys, I'm really starting to work with a lot of you guys, and I got a lot of your emails, and I really appreciate you guys, all of you guys. So
yeah, we have a ton of people that come in your chats that send us information, and they put information in chat. And I used a lot of that for the timeline. And I don't know if the person's here right now because we have a lot of different people, but just in case he's listening later, somebody in the last chat asked if he went to Idaho. And you looked at the map and scooched around and you were like, nope, they didn't go to Idaho. Well, when I started doing the research and digging and finding different locations, it's like, yes, they absolutely did go to Idaho. So that was not a false story. They did go to Idaho.
Well,
so it's just a good way to show how people in the chat help us too, because I take notes when people write stuff in there that I'm not sure or positive about. And it's like, I go look it up and I'll find 3 articles to confirm it. I don't believe what anybody types, any regular random person types on Twitter, because half those people I think just want their 5 minutes of fame. But I do go hunt for articles and official things and interviews they did with store managers. And if I can find enough to match, it's like, yes, they were in Idaho.
Yeah. And also how Facebook tries to block people because of what they write. They're half the reason why they cause the arguments between people, because they take a side pretty much. Instead of taking a side, do something like this, Facebook. Try to help. Build a map, Facebook. Build a map, YouTube. And make the map shareable so everybody, when someone starts arguing with another person, they can go, oh, let's pull up the map. Boom, there it is. Stop the argument in its tracks. Instead of being like, oh, the mainstream media said this, so that's going to cause an argument between this person and that person. No, how about you devote time to figuring out what the facts are and sharing the facts instead of blocking people for their opinions? Because everybody has opinions. No one's wrong for an opinion. No one's saying an opinion is fact in that moment. It's an opinion. So we can all check. Basically, that's what I wanted to do with this map. I wanted to help with the case, and I wanted to help with people arguing and try to stop the back and forth. But for instance, right now what you're looking at on the map is Brian Laundrie's hitchhiking path that he took from Coulter Bay Village to the Sprague Creek Road. And like I said, over on the left-hand side are all your categories. And you can turn these on and off. You do have that control in when you go to the website and you're looking at the map. You can turn these on and off. All you do is check them. It's not going to delete anything. And you can click on these points. So here's a hitchhiking point. Let's see what that says. It says August 29th, Jackson Lake Dam. Brian Laundrie dropped off at Jackson Lake Dam by Miranda Baker. And then here's the links to support it. So not only are you getting a copy of the map where you can look at it yourself, but we also have went through and tried to thoroughly put all the links in the description of the icons on the map. So you can refer back to them and go, okay, yes, he was there. Yes, she was there. Or they were there. So yeah, I'm not trying to profit off of this or anything. I wanted to get this out free to everybody so we can all look at the investigation. And the green icons, and you'll see over here, there's another category that says want to go list, dirt website. And that's from the dirt website where Brian Laundrie and Gabby Petito marked where they wanted to go. So that's just plausible locations that they might have stopped at along their journey from New York to Wyoming where it got cut short. And this is only the tip of the iceberg, ain't it, Kat?
Yeah. Yeah. I spent hours in here playing with this map because everything you click on pops up information about what that spot means, and then it shows it in color with a pin on the map.
So, all right. So now we got that established. Now I have something else I want to show you guys, and I'm trying to figure out a way to make this shareable. And I think if I could figure out a way to make this shareable, oh my God, it's really going to help people and blow minds.
I'm putting the link to the map in the chat again. So if anyone didn't get it, even if you don't want to go to it right now, just click on it and bookmark it. That way you can go to it anytime. And whenever you open it back up, hit refresh and it'll update it to whatever Chris has updated.
Yeah, so you can refer back to this for your facts of the case at any time. So make sure you bookmark it and you can come back here at any time. And then you can always email me at rightflightlife@gmail.com if you got some kind of credible info, or even if you saw I put something wrong that you felt was wrong. Yeah, if you
saw a mistake, email them and let them know also.
Yeah, and I'll go right in and I'll update it. Now, to support this map, instead of having a 9-hour live stream, hey, Sean. Hey, Chris and Kathy. Hey, good to see you, Sean. So to support this map, and like Kathy was saying, I had to perfect it. So what I was doing to perfect it was I built the Gabby Petito case presentation. And this is a huge research tool too that I'm trying to figure out. I've been talking to Kathy about this, and she's like, I don't know. This is going to be crazy to put out because of how big the file size was, right, Kathy? It was crazy big file size on this. So this is called the Gabby Petito case presentation by Truth Tracker. And what I did was, remember when we were going through the map and I kept having to click a link and go back and click a link to find this and click a link? I had to go to Brian's Instagram, and I had to go to Gabby's Instagram, and I had to go to the Dirt website, and I had to go to the TikTok website, and I had to keep referring to all these different places as I was looking into the investigation, right? So instead of doing that, I spent days, guys, days, and I went through and I downloaded and copied all of Brian Laundrie's pictures and his videos off his Instagram page. All of Gabby Petito's pictures and videos off her Instagram page. All of her Twitter posts during their trip. All of their TikTok videos on the Nomadic Static TikTok page. Me and Kathy looked into the Pinterest site. We went through the whole Dirt website, which has pictures and videos not many people have seen, to their list of where they wanted to go, to their pictures they put on there, to their videos they put on there, to their reviews of camping sites that they went to along their trip. And I downloaded all of it, guys. And I built the Gabby Petito True Tracker presentation to go along with the map. Now, I haven't quite figured out how to associate this with the map, but this is what we're going to be going through today. So we're gonna
Texas
start.
guy says, can you put this on YouTube? And that's what I was telling you the other day. Can't you just put this presentation where you're going to go through right now on YouTube so they can watch the presentation? Not in the middle of a live stream like a separate video.
Yeah. So what?
That's pretty cool.
What me and Kathy were talking about, we actually have been talking about that. And we were thinking about doing an off live video maybe, where me and her kind of go through this as a shorter video. But we're going to do that in today's video somewhat. We're not going to dive deep into it, but we're going to do that now. So you can pause this at any time and refer back and see whatever details you want. Right, Kathy? Weren't we thinking something like that? Like we would do a separate video. So we'll dive in. So we're going to work quickly through the presentation. And I see TX guys said, no wonder you're tired and sick. Hey, man, can't agree with you more. I agree. So,
yeah, he's been working his butt off on this. We do a lot of late nights.
Yeah. So, all right. So what you're looking at is Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie depart for trip. The couple depart Blue Point on July 2nd, 2021 after modifying a white 2012 Ford Transit van as a mobile living space. So we know that they left on July 2nd. Then we have, that might be the wrong date. That don't seem right. I think it was July 3rd.
What are you looking for? I got it in front of me.
The chain of rocks in Missouri-Illinois state line.
That was the 3rd.
That was the 3rd. Yeah, I don't know why that says 2nd. I'm gonna have to change that.
On the 17th, they went to Blue Point for Gabby's brother's graduation. On the 2nd, they departed New York, and by the 3rd, they were at Chain of Rocks Bridge at the Missouri-Illinois state line.
And that's this video, guys. So all of their social media, pictures and video are now in this one place. And it's one document. Everything. And it documents everywhere they went their entire trip, date by date. So this is the Chain of Rocks Bridge at the Missouri and Illinois state line. And they were there July 3rd. Moving on. July 4th, 2021. Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie were at the Monument Rocks in Kansas. And we can actually, if you get a copy of this, what you would do is you can zoom in on these. And it's just like having them pulled up big on the social media site. So you can see. Here's Brian Laundrie's post at Monument Rocks. You think I should read the captions, Kathy, or just move through it?
I would say the dates, and zip through the captions if there's something important, because Christy was saying in there that we really need to get to know their personalities.
That's what I was thinking.
To get to know mostly a little bit more about Brian, but her. So yeah, it's like I wouldn't read them slow. I'd kind of zip through them, because if you make a video, people will be able to see it. Right. But yeah, we're trying to get a feel for their personalities as you go through this slideshow, a little more than just like what we saw on the police body cam. Gotcha. And what different people have said on TikTok. So a lot of the stuff they're going to write, we already know is going to be fake, because she made it look like they had this perfect, wonderful life. But it's like, now we're hearing all these things that it's like, well, it wasn't so perfect. Right. So it'll be interesting to see what she writes.
All right. So what we have is on July 4th, Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie were at Monument Rocks, Kansas, and we're going to try to build some more character profiles of the two. So first, what Brian Laundrie wrote was, downsizing our life to fit into this itty-bitty van was the best decision we've ever made. With the limited space, we wanted to take advantage of every inch, while also keeping everything minimalist. Definitely felt inspired by a lot of other hashtag vanlifers on at YouTube. But we came up with a completely original layout. Barely spent anything on the conversation, he writes, but it's conversion. And couldn't be any happier with the outcome. Hashtag van tour coming soon. Sacrificing space to wake up in nature every day has been no sacrifice at all. Cross-country road trip with Gabs Petito. Now that's what Brian Laundrie wrote. Now let's see what Gabby Petito was feeling like. Gabby Petito wrote, there's no place like the tiny home we built. at Bizarre Design, which is Brian Laundrie. And she also wrote, "There's no place like the tiny home we built." And she also wrote, okay, it's the same one. "There's no place like the tiny home we built." So that's what Gabby Petito wrote. So it seems like they're both pretty happy. They're at Monument Rocks, Kansas, and they're both bragging kind of about their van. Like they're excited to take this trip. So that was on July 4th, 2021 at Monument Rocks. So next up, we have July 5th, 2021. And as it says in the description, location unknown somewhere in Colorado after leaving the state of Kansas and heading towards Colorado Springs, Colorado. And the computer's loading. So again, this is another character profile point here where we see that Gabby Petito was a weed smoker. She was, from what I read, she was a pretty heavy weed smoker, dude. Not knocking weed smokers. I know a lot of weed smokers who are productive every day and get up and do whatever. But Gabby Petito was definitely a weed smoker, and that could signal a gateway. Maybe they were doing drugs. You know? What do you think, Kathy? You think they were doing drugs?
I think that for sure they probably smoked a little weed. I mean, you can see that in their things, so you don't know how much they did it. And I kind of, like I said in the last live stream, I picture them as like the modern day Flower Children hippies. It's like, I mean, I could totally be wrong, but it's like I wouldn't put it past the fact that they might have been doing psychedelics, but they never put anything in anywhere that indicated that they had. But just being on the camping and being on the, meeting other van life people and this and that, it's like you meet a lot of people. They're like, hey, try this, try that. So, yeah, I would just be speculating to say that they used some psychedelics, but it's like for sure I think they used a little weed.
Yeah. Especially in this day and age with kids, like I'm in the older group of people now. I'm not near their age. I know if you saw me, I look young, but I'm getting kind of up there a little bit. But
when I was their age, I was high every day.
Yeah, but in this newer generation of kids growing up now, psychedelics, psychedelics is like the thing to do. Like when we were growing up, it was like smoking weed was like, oh my God, you smoke weed. When I was a kid, that was like the big thing. Like, don't smoke weed when you grow up.
Well, I'm a little older than you. I was born in the mid-'60s, so it's like when I was growing up, I was a little too young to do them, but it's like I was around a lot of people that were into the psychedelics, like the Flower Children people, but I was like too little to be one. I was only like a little 5-year-old. But I had like an aunt, my mom's sister, that lived on a commune, in this one-room schoolhouse with, hundreds of people that lived there. And they were all, the hippie, carefree, grow your own food, sex, love, psychedelics, whatever. So it's like I was kind of in that era, but I was like a little kid, so I couldn't experience any of it. But it's like I did like kind of know that they were doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, especially around the turn of like the what was that festival called where they would do all the psychedelics at, like in the 60s, right?
60s.
Woodstock, right? That was in the 60s, wasn't it? I know you were really young.
Woodstock was 69. I'm going to look it up right now. I did not go to Woodstock. I would have been a baby.
Yeah. Yeah, like my mom, I think
it was in New York City.
My mom was born
1969. Yeah, Woodstock. It was in New York, April 15th to 18th, 1969. I'll tell you what, they always say if you could, see one musician from the past live, that's dead, it's like Jimi Hendrix. I would give my life just to see him one time. He played the Star Spangled Banner at Woodstock, and it is the best, coolest version. If you guys have never heard his version of the Star Spangled Banner, he's doing it on an electric guitar, and it's like, you got to picture everything they're doing at Woodstock. Everyone in the audience is on either acid or weed or whatever, and he just starts wailing away on this performance of the Star Spangled Banner, and that guitar just, you just got to hear it if you've never heard it before.
Yeah, I would definitely be down to see that too.
Well, it's not even so much that it's patriotic. It's just like so cool. They're all up on stage. They got their headbands on and they're long, those Flower Children shirts the guys wore and stuff. And it's just like there's a crowd full of people. I mean, there's like naked girls. I don't know if they show that in his video, but you could see other videos of other bands that were at Woodstock. And it was a 3-day festival in the mud. These people were just tramping around, sleeping wherever, wasted off their butts. I mean, Woodstock's a pretty good thing to research if you've never researched it, but definitely look up Jimi Hendrix Star Spangled Banner. Other people have done other versions of it, but when you watch him play it, it's really cool.
Yeah, I have to check that out. So moving forward at the same time,
Sean's seen it.
So moving forward at the same time as we build our character profiles of these two, so we left off here at July 5th, and they were somewhere in Colorado, and Gabby took a picture on her Colorado feed on her Instagram page of a blunt in her hand smoking. I believe it's a video, but I couldn't put that video up here for some reason. It's basically that picture, though. That's all it shows. And then next to it, she also did a picture of some food, salads and stuff like that. So right now, we know Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie are excited. They converted this van. They're excited to hit the road together, and they're really bragging about the van and how they built it. So on July 6th, we have them at Slice 420, which the address is 2501 West Colorado Avenue, Suite 108, Colorado Springs, Colorado. And it says, after getting food at Slice 420, Gabby Petito sits down on a bench at Bancroft Park and posts this video to her Instagram page's Colorado highlight reel. And here's the video. She tagged Slice 420. We had a lot of debates about this video also. Like, do they put marijuana in the pizza? Remember that?
Oh, but they don't. Yeah, I verified that.
Yeah. I wouldn't imagine.
I put the link to the Jimi Hendrix video in the chat if anyone wants to just save it. Don't watch it now because you'll miss Chris's presentation, but just save it. Maybe he'll play it at the end for our finale.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Remind me, don't let me forget.
I'll send it to your messenger.
All right. So,
I don't know if I'll remember at the end either, but yeah, it's pretty cool. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, no, you're fine. So, yeah, she sat down at Bancroft Park. And this isn't the Slice 420 restaurant where she's sitting. This is the park bench where we talked about in past live streams, where I've showed it right on the map exactly where this location is. But this is Bancroft Park. And she added this to her Colorado highlight reel on her Instagram page. So they were excited. They got to Colorado Springs. They stopped at a cool restaurant which has 420 in its name. I'm sure that's not just because it's a cool name. I'm sure it's because they liked smoking weed. And I know we all know people who smoke a lot of weed, and they love 420 memorabilia. Anything 420 memorabilia, from refrigerator magnets to shirts. So it's kind of like a group you get to hang out in when you're weed smokers. Everybody loves that. So after July 6th, we have them July 8th, 2021, somewhere in Colorado Springs, Colorado. I don't think anybody's been able to identify where this wall art is. Do you know, Kathy?
Which wall art? Because I'm on a different screen.
So it's the pictures when they're in Colorado, and she's got the blue. She's got the blue behind her with the big flowers. I couldn't figure out where this was.
Well, she's sitting on a bench at Bancroft Park.
Yeah, we established that. And I tried to narrow down where these pictures were taken, but I couldn't figure out where this graffiti was.
Well, the only reason the butterfly one got announced was because the person that has that building saw the pictures flying around, and he contacted someone and said, hey, look, that's my building. This is where she was. And we would have never probably been able to figure out the butterfly. So it's like somebody eventually will come forward and say, hey, that's my mural outside of my whatever.
Well,
she doesn't say anywhere in there where it is.
No. Well, we know it's in Colorado Springs, and we know they were by Slice 420. But I tried to look all over that area on Google Earth
I
and
would
Street View
bet
and
if
find
you,
it.
this is the way I fly. If you sent that picture to the 420 Facebook page and asked them if they knew where in their town that mural was, you'd have your answer.
Yeah, that's a good
Someone on the 420 site, either the owners or the commenters that live in that town, would probably give you an answer.
So it looks like to me, guys, if I had to build a character profile a bit, it looks like they purposely hit Colorado and this area to get weed. Would anybody disagree with me on that?
It's legal there.
I know, that's what I'm saying. And like all their posts around this time period were dedicated to weed. Like we saw she was smoking the blunt. Then her next post was at the Slice 420 restaurant. And then she put these pictures up on July 8th, somewhere in Colorado. And in these pictures, she put up a little pot in Colorado post, which is a weed reference. If you look it up, I'm telling you, it's a weed reference. And it might even...
What'd you say, the 420? For sure that's weed.
Yeah, I'm talking about the little pot from Colorado picture.
That's
a
for
weed
sure.
reference.
That's a weed reference. I just put the link to 420 Pizza's Facebook in there. So if anyone wants to do the homework of sending that blue flower picture to their Facebook page in a comment and see if somebody gives you an answer of where that's from.
Right. And a little pot from Colorado. I remember I said in past live streams that I believe she's in a weed shop right here in this picture. But I can't
look at all those little things on the sidewall that could be the little compartments.
That's what I'm saying.
You can't zoom in clear enough to see. But that's definitely a souvenir you'd buy. Like when you're at the airport and they have all the keychains and shot glasses. That's definitely a Colorado pot-based souvenir.
Right, exactly. And I had put the theory up that this is a weed shop probably behind them, a dispensary of some kind. And yeah, like this post. So it seems like their first stop was let's hit Colorado and get some weed. Can you buy weed in Colorado when you live out of state? I wonder.
I do believe that Colorado is one of those states that you don't have to have the medicine card. I think the people have to be able to sell it, but it's legal for anyone to buy it for recreational.
Colorado was like the biggest place of legalization at first. They already have little stores in Colorado because it's been legal there so long. They already have little stores that you could go right in and buy marijuana at. Colorado is the #1 spot in the United States for legal weed. And then behind it comes like DC is catching up. Washington DC is legalized now. But Colorado led the charge. But I'm just curious, if you're not from Colorado, when you go into one of these weed shops or something like that, do you have to show ID to buy weed? You know what I mean? So
I am looking up a little pot in Colorado images, and it seems like every weed store has them.
Yeah, it's hard.
But I haven't found that. Did you already do this? Because I haven't found that particular pot that she's holding.
Supposedly there's on her Pinterest references to it too, but it's all over Pinterest. Is the little pot in Colorado, and next to it, listed next to it a lot, is all marijuana post. So that's how I linked it to this is a weed related thing. So we know, okay, July 8th, they were somewhere in Colorado Springs near the Slice 420 restaurant, and they stopped to get weed. That's what I would speculate and say, guys, if it was my opinion. They stopped to get weed and hang out at Colorado Springs for a bit. So after July 8th, then they went into the middle of nowhere. Then they went to the Great Sand Dunes National Park and Preserve in Colorado, and they went here July 7th through July 11th. And we got some videos. So these are the videos. So this was posted to Brian Laundrie's travel Instagram highlight reel on July 10th, 2021. And it shows Brian just hitting the sleds. Did you see the video, Kathy, where the father came out and was like, man, when I was her age, I wish I was hitting sand dunes sledding. I don't think a lot of people saw
actually, I
that.
had an aunt that lived in Grand Rapids, and there's sand dunes out there, and they had dune buggies, and we used to go do that all the time when I was in my like young 20s.
Wow, that's awesome.
It's a blast. There were people on like those bodyboard type things and sand dunes, and I mean bikes, and you'd see people try to go up them on weird things, and they'd flip off because they didn't know what they were doing. So it was pretty fun.
So yeah,
You have to
Brian.
come to Michigan sometime.
Brian posted a story, a highlight reel video on his travel highlight reel on his Instagram page, and Gabby posted a highlight video to her Instagram Colorado highlight reel. And Gabby's is on the right and Brian's is on the left. And that was that we know they were at the Great Sand Dunes National Park July 7th through July 11th. And we have more to build up more of a character profile. So these are all of their Instagram pictures from Great Sand Dunes National Park, all put into one place, and their videos. So we're going to go in and take a look. So Brian posted and said, "First time out to the Great Sand Dunes. I've never set foot in a terrain like this, let alone surf down hills of sand or tasted sand. I got to taste a lot of sand with Gabs Petito." Cool, bro. Gabby wrote, "Bikini Bottom isn't the only place. There's sandy cheeks." Hashtag van life travel. And these are her pictures. And these all have the same caption with her pictures. So sad. Like, don't you wish you could go back in time and just warn someone? Like,
yes, to warn her of what's coming. I just looked up an interactive map of marijuana dispensaries in Colorado Springs, and I'm telling you right now, there's too damn many. We'll never figure out where that pot came from.
That's what I said. That's what I said.
Yeah,
I couldn't do it either.
this map is just loaded with them.
Right. But it's mostly, when you're looking it up, it's mostly related to marijuana. That's what I would see.
Right. Yeah, I'm not seeing any evidence of any other drug use, but it's like, yeah, I think, yeah, Alyssa, Gabby's parents sent them money too. Her dad sent her money to buy a pizza. I'm sure they sent him other money, paid for that hotel along the way. And yeah, Max says $5,000 could last a long time if you're only paying for gas. Oh yeah, I went to Texas and back and spent less than $500 on gas, food, getting there and back. And that was like a 24-hour drive. So for them to get cross country, it's like they could do it on $1,000 there and back easy, not counting sightseeing and stuff like that and souvenirs. But $5,000 is a ton of money to go on a cross country trip for two people, if they have their own camper and don't need to do lodging all the time.
Right. All right. Gabby did write another. When she posted another picture on July 10th, she did write another caption here. And I hope I got it all. I should have. And she wrote, "After going on our first road trip across the country in my tiny car, we felt like there was just so much we missed." Now, could you imagine, guys? They went on this kind of trip before in a car. Now they went on this trip in a van. Could you imagine how bad the car trip was? It's crazy. Turning this Ford Transit essentially into a camper was such an adventure in itself, but I couldn't love the way it turned out more. All the places it's brought us so far have been amazing. As soon as we got to the Great Sand Dunes, I didn't want to leave. There was so much to hike. But as soon as the campsites on the dunes open up for summer, they fill up instantly, along with the overnight parking permits. So again, when we were talking about character profiles, as we can see, I think a dark side comes out of Gabby a little bit when she's with Brian a lot, because I think Brian Laundrie doesn't like people that much. I think Gabby Petito does like people. I think she likes to interact with people.
I think she wanted to be like, I don't know if you call it
a vlogger,
social media famous or whatever.
Yeah.
He was more interested with his stuff, showing his designs and his things like that.
And being in
but
the middle
she
of
wanted
nowhere.
to be like socialized.
Right.
And so I do think she was more outgoing with that. And he was more private unless he was, trying to sell drawings or things like that.
Right. So you would think, oh, this is a perfect match couple, but it's not. Because in retrospect, yes, they both like to travel, but they have two totally different concepts of that traveling. One has the concept of let's go to cool places and meet cool people. Another has the concept of let's go to the middle of nowhere and stay for a week and not talk to no one. So you can see where conflict could grow. That there would be a lot of struggle, especially you put them in a closed, cramped, tight space together. And they can only go where the other one wants to go. And they have to agree to it. They both have to agree in this tight camp space. It's not like staying in a hotel with rent-a-cars or nothing like that. They both have to agree where they want to go. So, Gabby wrote, sorry, I thought I heard something. As soon as we got to the Great Sand Dunes, I didn't want to leave. She said, summer they'll fill up instantly. Along with the overnight parking permits, lucky enough, I called at the right time when someone canceled and was able to score us a campsite for 2. And it should continue. I'm hoping I continued it. Maybe not. So yeah, I think it ends pretty much right after that. She might say 2 or more lines that I cut off by accident. Or it might be in the next picture that we're going to move on to. So again, building their character profiles out of their post. So they were at the Great Sand Dunes July 7th through July 11th. And we're looking at what they wrote. And we're looking at all of their social media posts across the internet. From Instagram to TikTok. We're going to see all that, guys. And we're going to look at their character profiles. So as Kathy was just saying, she kind of just agreed with me a bit. That we think that Gabby was more of the social media vlogger type. She wanted to go to cool spots and see cool people and hang out with different people and make videos and pictures. I think she was more focused on pictures than videos because they would have a lot more videos in my opinion. And Brian was more like the let's go to the middle of nowhere and camp and hike with no shoes on type. That was Brian. So continuing on, July 7th through July 11th, 2021, they were still at the Great Sand Dunes. And Gabby posted this picture. And she wrote, and this was on July 11th, so we know that they left the Great Sand Dunes by this post on July 11th. And she wrote, last day in Colorado with a smiley face. She wrote an arrow next, Utah. So we knew they were headed to Utah after this. So they were leaving Colorado, the Great Sand Dunes National Park, but they stopped at a place I think was unexpected after that. And here we have July 11th through July 12th, 2021. The Mesa Verde National Park Petroglyph Trail. And here's miscellaneous post locations unknown. So me and Kathy actually debated about these posts a little bit because you can't really narrow down where these were because some of these they didn't tag a location. Like this rebottle post. But okay, they didn't tag a location, but what date were they there? So these are all videos. So the first one we have right here, this is the video. And they did tag in this post on Brian Laundrie's travel highlight reel, July 12th. He was on the Petroglyph Trail at Mesa Verde National Park. And he posted these videos. Now, you've never seen videos that they posted connected like this because no one's ever put together a presentation like this. So you wouldn't know the randomness from one video in a whole different part of their Instagram or their TikTok or whatever page was related to another video unless you correlate the dates and you put them next to each other like this. So that was on Brian Laundrie's travel highlight reel on his Instagram page. Then he had another random one on his green highlight reel on his Instagram page, and it was this. So now we're starting to see a more fuller picture. And he did tag at the top of this one, Mesa Verde National Park. And Brian Laundrie was, I don't know if you guys know this, but Brian Laundrie was the one who was really into plants. Now, I know that sounds weird because a guy's into plants. I haven't met too many dudes who are really into plants. But Brian Laundrie had a whole highlight reel on his Instagram page dedicated to flowers. He did like flowers.
Chris, I'm going to interrupt you for a minute because Sean sent me down a rabbit hole. Okay. The Monterey Import Company is who sells those pots, the little flower pot she had. So if the pot store had it, they ordered it probably from this company. So that's really not going to help us find out what store it is because I'm sure they sell it to a ton of people.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah,
so I mean, it was
Thanks,
worth
Sean.
going down the rabbit hole. Got that answer for us, so we weren't like hunting for a store that only sold that pot. So that could be popular in other stores too.
Yeah, it could be really popular and made by multiple different stores and shipped from China. I think it's more so the term is that weed smoking term, which goes along with Colorado, which was like the biggest weed place in the United States because it was one of the first places to be legalized. And that term is just a catchy term.
And when I searched for the little pot, there was a ton of different little pots. So it's like all those stores probably have them on their shelf as souvenirs.
Right. It's a term to go along with the marijuana. In my opinion. So all of these videos you just watched right here and the rebottle video, these were all posted within the same time frame of each other, which was between July 11th and July 12th. And they were really pushing to get sponsored by this rebrand, REI Co-op. I think they were, because they wrote it in multiple posts, and they wrote it on the Arches National Park post that they make later on that we're going to get to soon. They tagged RE a lot in it. So all of these were from right around the Mesa Verde National Park area on July 11th through July 12th. And then after that, all right, so now we're going to get into some things I know a lot of viewers who have been watching probably haven't seen. And I want to say big shout out and thanks to the viewers who were sending me emails and comments, sending emails to Kathy and comments to Kathy about the Dirt website. Because we didn't even really look into the Dirt website until later on. But here we go.
Someone in the last chats who told us to go there. I didn't really even realize what it was.
Right. So
then I noticed later Misty had a couple things on her timeline, and I just thought she spelled dirt wrong and was talking about a campground. Until they said it in your chat last time, I had no idea what that was. So that was helpful.
Yeah,
the people in the chat help a lot with finding stuff for you.
Do you guys? You guys really do. So, the Dirt website has, like I was explaining earlier on in the live stream, it has a list of places they want to go, and then it has a review section of places they've been. Now, the weird thing about the reviews on the Dirt website is either Gabby or Brian wrote a bunch of reviews on the same date, basically. But we can correlate whatever they reviewed with places they went in their trip. So we know from posts on their social media pages that they were at Mesa Verde between July 11th and July 12th. Okay? So on the Dirt website, there was a bunch of reviews wrote on July 22nd. Now that's later than when we have them at Mesa Verde. But the review they wrote is for some of the places we have them and know where they were during their trip. So one of those places on the Dirt website they wrote a review for was the Mesa Verde National Park, BLM land. And this is what they wrote. So we know they were here at July 11th through 12th. 4-minute drive from park entrance. After visiting the park, this was an awesome place to camp for the night. It was a bumpy drive in, but not bad. Lots of obvious dispersed sites where people have camped. Nice and open. Beautiful place to look at the stars. I'm sure if there wasn't a dust storm, or I read that all wrong. Sorry, I got distracted.
That was my beep. Oh, just now telling me you're live. Your notification's only like an hour and 40 minutes late.
Yeah, that's how YouTube is. So they wrote, nice and open, beautiful place to look at the stars. I'm sure if there wasn't a dust storm. As soon as we started to cook dinner, we had to very quickly hop in the van because the dust just suddenly started blowing in. Even through that, it was still so cool to watch and listen to. Listen to all the, I'm sure, pounds of sands hit the side of our van. And at some points, we could barely see out the windows. Good thing we didn't set up our tent because it would have blown away for sure. Long story short, be careful. So nice out there though. So this is something we haven't really looked at in past live streams because we didn't have the dirt website pulled up. So now we're getting more insight into this trip that they took together. So they're saying that they hit a dust storm, which we do have videos of this dust storm. Remember the videos of the dust storm, Kathy, we were looking at? I have them on here. So this
Didn't you find on the Instagram exactly where that was, though, after you looked?
Well, no, I couldn't figure out where the dust storm was. But when I found this dirt post, now I see, okay, it was near Mesa Verde. I couldn't figure out where that dust storm was. I kept asking you, like, where was this? I knew
Well,
the
I know
dates.
you couldn't figure it out the last time, but what I'm saying is in between, you now have it figured out.
Yeah, I have it worked out now.
Yeah, see, that's how good a work he did. It's like someone in the chat will suggest something or ask a question, and he'll go dig him like a hound dog. And if he can't find it or he's busy, he'll send me a message and say, go find this.
Yeah, I try.
And then a lot of times I'll message Rhonda and say, hey, I'm busy. Can you go find this? So everyone works together as a group. It's kind of good.
Yeah, it's awesome. So they hit the dust storm now, Kathy, telling you, because that's what I was trying to establish. They hit it around Mesa Verde. So that was July 11th through 12th. They were near Mesa Verde, staying in that area. So that was around when the dust storm was. And I believe it's right here in this video. Let me see. So these are videos from July 13th, guys. I may not have put the dust storm in here, or it's part of this video, I think. Yeah, here it is. Okay. So on Brian Laundrie's van life highlight reel on his Instagram page, he put videos up of the dust storm. So they hit a dust storm somewhere between Mesa Verde National Park and the Welcome to Utah sign on July 13th. So somewhere between July 11th and July 13th, they hit a dust storm, and they were ducked out in the middle of nowhere for a while. And you're seeing on the right side of your screen videos of the dust storm. And this is the full set. I put them all under one collection so you can see the whole video through. So Gabby's taking the video. And then you can see the little stovetop that I was thinking was what was behind the van. So all of these posts on Brian's van life highlight reel were from, not that one though, were from the dust storm between July 11th and July 13th. Then here we go. Here's a video that most people haven't seen before also. So here's a TikTok video. And this shows a different angle of some of the things you've seen. And it shows some of the clips after this that we're going to get to soon. And it shows some of the clips from before this in dates in this TikTok video. But a lot of people haven't seen the TikTok video. So here's the TikTok video playing. So see, we get a different angle of the Welcome to Utah sign. And they actually kissed in that video. And here's more angles of the tent at Zion. I believe this is Zion. That a lot of people didn't get to see. So some of these videos and pictures were pulled off of the Dirt website too. But this was posted to see. This is a video that was only posted to TikTok, these angles. These are all new angles, guys, coming from the TikTok site. I'm going to grab a drink real quick. I'll be right back.
Hi, Layla. No, they haven't announced if it's Brian or not. They haven't even confirmed that the things they found articles that they believe belong to Brian. And they did confirm that they found a body, but they have not confirmed whose body it was. They brought the coroner out to the reserve today because they found human remains, but they really wouldn't give us any more information from that. They said more testing would have to be done. So I have a feeling that body was not in any kind of condition where his parents could just go to the morgue and identify it. I'm thinking it might be in pieces from alligators or something, because, if he just died last week and wasn't that decomposed, it's like his parents probably could have identified him. So yeah, I'm thinking there's going to be something really, really creepy, just kind of like with Gabby. She was out there 3 or 4 weeks, and it's like her body wasn't all in one place and in good shape. So I have a feeling we're going to have another one like that, but his might even be worse because he was submerged in water a lot and had alligators and stuff. I mean, she had bears and coyotes, so I guess you can't say his body will be worse. But at least her stepdad was able to go to the dig site and say, yes, that's her. So Brian's parents weren't able to do that. Not that they might not take them tomorrow, but yeah, I think that we need an official identification on it. If it's not Brian, a couple weeks ago they found a dead man that had been missing around the same time, all in the same time frame as Gabby and those girls, that was found dead in the reserve. They ruled it a suicide. It was a gunshot wound to the head. But now if we find that this body out there is not Brian, and technically maybe that guy didn't commit suicide, that would mean someone might be in the reserve and might have killed a couple people. Or Brian is on the run hiding and 2 people found him and he found a way to get rid of them. I mean, that's talking total conspiracy. I'm just filling time because Chris isn't here. I don't really believe any of those things happen, but there's a whole lot of what ifs out there. Okay, go back to your show. I get off track.
No, I like that about you. I like the ability of you being able to jump in like that, because I focus a lot of time on examining things, and I like having someone to jump in like that. So you're fine. Anytime you want to jump in, please do. But July 11th through July 13th is when they hit the dust storm. They crossed over into Utah, and like I said, they hit a dust storm, and then they saw a cool "Welcome to Utah" sign, and they were like, let's jump out and take some videos and pictures of that. And they got out and they took videos and pictures. A lot of those videos that a lot of people didn't see were posted to their TikTok, which is the video I was playing for you, which is a TikTok video. A lot of people didn't see those angles. And it says, Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie pose for pics and video in front of a "Welcome to Utah" sign. And it says the TikTok video was posted at a later date, but includes the sign and other locations. So this TikTok video, like I said, is showing things in the future that we have yet to get to yet, but it's also showing things in the past. And one thing I want to note in this video before we move on to the next date is, remember that Gabby Petito had told the police that they don't drink. Well, look at that. They're popping a bottle right there on video. Now, could that be non-alcoholic or something else? I think the whole theory about Brian Laundrie and Gabby Petito not drinking, I don't think that's true. You think that's true, Kathy? You still with me, Kath?
Yeah, I had to jump and switch phones because one of them, the battery was dead in. I got 4 of them sitting here. 2 are in the charger.
It's my luck that I hit you when you were walking away for a second. But what I was saying is, to see the picture on the screen again where he's popping the bottle, and they said they don't drink. I don't think that's true. You think that's true? That they were?
They drink.
Yeah, they were drinking the whole time, I believe.
Well, when people say they don't drink, it's kind of like if you just have a drink here and there and someone comes up to you and says, do you drink? You're thinking of the drunk falling off a stool in a bar. So you're like, no, not really. So, like if someone comes up to me and says, do you drink? I say no. But it's like, I do on occasion. You drink a couple glasses of something at a party, or if you go out to dinner or something like that. So I think if they drink a little here and there when they were camping, unless they were like fall down drunks, I think they would still fall in the category of people that don't drink. It depends on whose moral compass you're using, but on my moral compass, it's like you got to be an everyday fall down drunk for me to say, wow, that person's got a drinking problem.
I agree with you. And it could also be maybe Brian, well, when a lot of times when you think about it in a character profile sense, in a police investigative looking way, okay? when someone says to you the word, like if someone said to you, Kathy, were you guys drinking? A normal person who drinks would say, no, we weren't drinking. But when someone says to you, we don't drink, that's a whole different meaning behind we don't drink. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's coming from a place of, for some reason, we don't drink. Like, you're saying it as if there was something that occurred, now you don't drink. Because everybody drinks a little bit. So no,
well,
we
when
didn't
you're
drink.
out in those campgrounds, especially the ones where, you got the campers parked next to each other with the fire pits and the picnic tables, I have never in my life been camping. I mean, even people that got kids, that when those fires get lit at night aren't at least having a beer around the fire.
Right.
So, yeah, I don't think they were bad drinkers, but I think maybe they did a little bit here and there.
Right.
Like socially.
I just don't feel like you would, I don't feel like you would use the terminology, we don't drink. We don't
Unless
drink.
a doctor asks me on a form, I don't even bring it up. If it's one of those boxes you have to check, I check no. But if it's just not something that comes up in normal conversation. I mean, unless you're on a first date and you want to make sure the person's not a drunk, it to me is just not a topic that really comes up. Unless you see someone with a drinking problem, you're like, whoa, dude, you need help.
And even if they answered, I feel like they would just be like, nah, I didn't drink. Or I don't drink like that. They would say something like that. But to say, in my opinion, to say we don't drink, that's like there's a force behind that. We don't drink.
There's denial there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's how I see it. And
Or
it
in
came
the
from
past,
Gabby.
a lot of people in the past, if they were alcoholics and they're in recovery, they'll throw that I don't drink thing right out there from the beginning because they don't want anyone offering them anything. But I don't think either of them had a past like that.
Right. But it could allude to like other parts of the case that we're going to get to by the end of this, where Brian was seen at bars drinking. So when Gabby says we don't drink and she says it, maybe she's the enforcer of it. Like,
maybe he's got a drinking problem and he's not drinking on her.
Right.
Hey, Alyssa T just wrote that she just saw a clip on CNN where the lawyer is talking. The lawyer's claiming he told them not to talk to Gabby's parents. Usually the lawyer just sends out notices, so maybe he sent out a press briefing notice. I wonder why he would be told not to talk to Gabby's parents. I'm going to check Brian on Twitter. He's always got like really up-to-date stuff, and see if he's got that on there.
All right. So moving forward, July 13th, as we explained, they were at the Welcome to Utah.
No, he doesn't have it on there yet.
All right, well, keep me posted. They hit a dust storm. They popped some bottles, so they were drinking around this time, at least a little bit. After July 13th, they hit Zion National Park, and this was like their go-to spot, guys. They posted so many posts across different websites about Zion. They loved Zion National Park. And they were at Zion from July 14th through July 20th, from what I could gather. And on the presentation here, I marked some of their sites within Zion for your own research. I didn't do it on the map. If we want to bring up the map again real quick. Anybody, I don't know if you still have the link, Kathy. Anybody who's new to the live stream, if you want your own version of this map so you can track their locations and get an investigative look like we're looking at right now. Excuse me, I got a burp. You can actually go to
there's
our
the link to the map. If they want to pull it up.
Truth Seeker just put it in the comments. You can actually go to our webpage, and it's nothing. You don't download nothing. You ain't got to worry about none of that. And you can actually get your own full interactive version of the map. And this is a map like, this ain't like CNN's map where you see little dots on a big old map. This is like you can zoom in and out, street view. You can add it to your Google Maps. You can do everything with this map. Truth Seeker just put the link in the comments for anybody who wants to follow along that's new to the stream. So, we have them at Zion National Park, July 14th through July 20th. And the first post was this video right here. And this was posted to Brian Laundrie's Utah highlight reel. And like I said, they loved Zion, guys. And we have some dirt evidence here also that we're going to look at, where they actually wrote a review of dirt. So he posted that video. They posted this video like we saw on the TikTok a moment ago of the tent. And then on July 15th, a lot of people didn't see this picture. You ever seen this picture, Kathy, of him with the lizard on his hand? So
yeah, I saw it, but I think it's because you showed it to me.
Yeah, so that was posted to his little snake. It looks like a snake highlight reel on July 15th. And then on July 16th, they were at the Emerald Pool Hike, Zion National Park.
Chris Como doesn't have anything posted. All his posts are from October 18th, and they go way back. So I don't know where on Twitter they saw it. Someone in the thing said to go to Chris Como's, unless he's got more than one Twitter, but I went to the verified one. So anyways, go on. I'm sorry I interrupted. I was just trying to look that up.
No, you're fine. So, Gabby, while at Zion National Park, wrote, "On Mountain Time, the past 2 nights camping in Zion have been so cool, literally. We hiked up here in about 100 degrees, and it was so nice coming back to our campsite, watching the sky fill with dark clouds, and viewing the lightning storm in the nice cool air of the light rain." So that's how Gabby was feeling, and she posted all of these pictures that you're looking at on your screen. And Brian Laundrie shared this picture here, and he shared this picture of him and Gabby. And he didn't write anything. He just put her name and he tagged her in the post. So this was at the Emerald Pool Hike of Zion National Park. So again, we have dirt post, which a lot of people haven't seen these dirt posts. And they did write a review of Zion National Park, and I'm going to read it for you guys. And they posted some pictures and video, which I already have throughout the presentation here. So what they wrote as a review of Zion was, "So beautiful here. Zion is just beautiful, yes. But the tent sites here are really nice. All a good distance from each other. And a beautiful pergola for some shade. It gets very hot midday. Recommend doing some of the more strenuous hikes early AM or in the evening. Nicest spot to hang out during the hottest point in the day is at the lodge. There's a giant tree on the lawn that just creates so much shade, and the grass is cool. But the campground has a beautiful view. Nice hikes from the campsite. Walk to the museum after dinner before it gets too dark to refill on some cold fresh water, and wait for the stars to come out. So beautiful and refreshing. Great campsite and clean bathrooms. Showers at Zion Outfitter, $4 for 5 minutes. Must take one after the Narrows. Toxic algae. Overcrowded but still fun." You notice that again, we have even in their review of Zion National Park. Sorry if I'm a little out of breath, guys. I'm a little stuffy too. Been under the weather a little bit. But even in their review of Zion National Park, once again, we have wrote overcrowded. So who is the one that's pushing on this keep people away? Who do we think wrote this this review? Because I would think Gabby wrote it. That's my opinion. So according to the review of Zion National Park, they had stayed at the Watchman Campground. So I know a lot of people didn't know exactly where they stayed in Zion. It's called the Watchman Campground. And it does line up on the map when you look at it on the map. And yeah, like once again, we have them kind of pushing back against people again. And this was on the Dirt website, their review. Now, on this, like I said before about the Dirt reviews, this was posted at a later date on July This was posted on July 22nd, I believe. So it's getting closer to when they wrote the review. So whoever sat down and wrote the reviews of all these reviews, we're getting closer to that date. So then Brian had posted a picture here on July 17th, and it's just him in between the rocks, but he didn't write anything. So carrying on, so we can move through. Like I said, they really loved Zion National Park, guys. All of these posts from July 14th through July 20th, all of these posts are from Zion. And here's another video. So all of these posts on this page of the presentation, all of these were taken from all of their Instagram accounts, dirt, everything. You're seeing it all in one place in this presentation, even the videos. So all of these that you're looking at on your screen right now were from July 18th. And we got another video. So this was posted. So this is a reshare. Brian had reshared it from Gabby's Instagram page. And he reshared it to his Utah highlight reel. And it was this video. And this was all on July 18th. So they were at this spot on July 18th. For anybody taking notes or want to add to the map, build their own map, July 18th. So
I just looked up, someone in the chat had talked about Wyoming capital punishment. They have the death penalty, but they currently only have one person on death row, and the last person they executed is 1992. So they do have it, but they don't really push it. I mean, I'm looking at dates here on this chart from like 1945, 1940, 1916, so 1871. So it's like, yeah, they've executed people, but it's like it's not really their thing. So if he had been found guilty there, he could have probably just got a life sentence or life without parole, because they're just not keen at following out on these death penalty things like Texas is. Texas, man, you kill someone, you're nailed.
yeah, Texas doesn't play.
Well, we lived in Texas a couple years, and I still have 2 kids out there, and we're from Detroit, where it's like shoot first, ask questions later. If you come in my house, you're dead. Well, when we moved to Texas, I told the kids, I'm like, all the rules have changed. It's like you don't hurt anyone. Even a schoolyard fight, you kick someone in the head, you could get the death penalty. They do not mess around here. And it's like I had to like drill that in my kids' heads, because being from Detroit, it's like you're raised a whole different way. You know, somebody jumps you, you have to beat the hell out of them, or else they're always going to bully you. You know, and it's like, it's not like that when you go to Texas. You got to really watch your P's and Q's, because you do not want to get trumped up on some charge and get the death penalty.
Yeah.
I just popped another Coca-Cola. Someone said, who just popped another cold one? Yeah, I snuck away a few minutes ago and got another drink. I drink a lot of Coke.
So all of these posts were from July 18th. But they were at Zion July 14th through the 20th. And on July 18th, they had visited the Narrows area of Zion. And Gabby did write on one of her posts, she wrote, brought a small place of home to the canyons. And it's this picture right here with the tent. So I'm guessing she's saying the things, you know, in that video we watched where they walk into the tent, this picture up here. She's saying she brought things from home to have in the tent that they were camping out with. And on the same date, Brian had posted and wrote, Zion is proof that mankind can ruin anything, even in an effort to preserve it. Beautiful park, just with an unfortunate infestation of human beings. Wow, guys, did we ever review that one before? Have you ever heard that, Kathy?
Which one are you on? Because I was looking up something for Christy.
I'm on Zion, but listen what Brian wrote here. Zion is proof that mankind can ruin anything, even in an effort to preserve it. Beautiful park, just with an unfortunate infestation of human beings.
Wow. That goes to character.
Does it? And this was on July 18th at Zion. He wrote that. He did multiple pictures. These are all his pictures. Oh, he did write. He wrote more here. He wrote, it's a lot easier walking upriver holding someone's hand than walking alone. And it's the picture with him and Gabby right here. So he wrote that too. So again, though, we find evidence that Brian Laundrie didn't like people. He was not the people person. Gabby Petito was like, let's build this van and go on adventures, and we'll meet cool people, and we'll vlog it, and we'll take awesome pictures, and we'll have a blast. And Brian was like, all right, and we'll stay away from people, right? And I'll sit in a field by myself and draw. That was Brian. That's what it seems like to me anyway. So we knew they were at Zion National Park July 14th through the 20th. And we're just going through them. So we have July 19, 2021. They were at Cedar Breaks, which is also, it's a different park, but it's extremely close to Zion. But it's like a different branch of Zion National Park. So moving forward. So the last post from Zion National Park was from Brian Laundrie, I believe. Let me make sure. Yeah, that's really close. So the last post came from Brian Laundrie, and it said, after leaving Colorado and getting stuck in a dust storm, as we saw, we camped in Zion for 3 nights, watching the lightning and listening to the thunder from our tent. It's really nice to go on 100-degree hikes every day and feel the cold come in at night, waiting for the rain. Also, everyone who walked by could not figure out how I climbed all these rocks. That sounded really close to one I just read. I think Gabby wrote that, right?
Sean's saying I'm a wanted criminal, no telling what I'm drinking. I'm drinking Coca-Cola. See, can't you guys smell it?
Yeah. If we had 4D, smell-o-vision.
I don't drink alcohol unless I go out to dinner with someone and have a glass or two of like a rum and Coke. But yeah, I drank in my younger days, but I'm old now.
I don't drink that often, and I'm not that old, but I don't drink that often. I'm not a big drinker. But, so as we see, once again, they talked about, other people noticing them. Brian Laundrie said, also everyone who walked by could not figure out how I climbed all these rocks. So, you know, Brian Laundrie just reminds me of someone like, hey, pay attention to me, but don't pay attention to me. That's kind of what I hear. It's like they want it to be noticed, yet not be noticed. So that was Zion National Park. They were there July 14th through the 20th. Moving forward. So this is one I was talking about with Kathy a lot. A lot of people didn't know they went to this location, but they did. We can confirm it now, pretty much. So this location is called FR 117, Dispersed Dixie National Forest. And the reason why we know they went to this location was because on the DIRT website, when we got to the DIRT website and we started doing our own research and looking into it, they did post pictures on the DIRT website of this location. And here's the pictures. So a lot of you guys watching probably haven't seen these pictures. These are from the DIRT website of the van and the tent. And I'll get real and close to it for you guys. And they actually even put captions with these pictures. So you can see, they wrote, you can see the road not many cars drive past. Again, they're talking about people driving past. And then we see another picture here. And they wrote, main road farther away. Can kinda hear it, but it was a bumpy drive. So didn't go further in. But there's definitely more spots. There's this picture. Kathy, did you really look at these pictures?
Hang on, I gotta interrupt a second because of the chat.
Okay.
Chris is Truth Tracker and FlightLife, and Kathy is Truth Seeker. I think he had us mixed up because I'm typing all the stuff in the chat, and I think he thought I was one of the other people. But just so you know, we're both Truth something, but he's Truth Tracker and I'm Truth Seeker, but his channel is FlightLife.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Which picture were you asking me if I saw?
Or I'm Chris. I guess you could refer to me as that because
yeah, he's Chris. I'm Kathy. Yeah,
it's more like Truth Tracker grew into its own thing. Truth Tracker, like tracking the truth. I kind of like that, and
I'm seeking it.
And FlightLife is my channel because I do other things than investigations like I'm doing now. But when I do an investigation, it's called Truth Tracker. It's like a branch off of my main channel, but the pictures at FR 117 Dispersed Dixie National Forest. Did you look at them? They're from the Dixie site. I mean,
is this part of your when you went to the dirt?
Yeah, I'm sorry, from the dirt site.
I didn't go through any of those because remember you couldn't find a link to send me the slideshow last night.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, I'll just see it when you play it tonight. So yeah, you had told me about a lot of those, but I mean, I've got all the map because I could interact with the map.
Right.
But this slideshow you're showing now, I'm seeing this for the first time too, other than little snippets that you sent me.
Right. This is really neat, ain't it, seeing these pictures? Because I don't think many people at all have seen these pictures unless you dig to find the dirt site and find when they were there and the pictures that went along with
a lot of people are really digging into stuff, and then other people are just kind of watching social media and see what comes along, and it's like, I haven't seen a whole lot of this. I see a lot of these live streams where they're just chit-chatting like what we were doing at the beginning, kind of talking about I saw this and I saw that. But I don't see very many live streams on this that are actually going through factual stuff like you are.
Right.
Kind of like you're not telling them what to do or think. You're just like, this is where they went and these are the dates and this is what they posted. You know, you're kind of going through their history. That's not really debatable because you found it and you've got it here in the slideshow.
Right, and I've been really lately in the police investigation videos like JCS and like character profiling and stuff like that. I'm going to start making video. Do you remember the Vegas videos? What the early ones I made? They were kind of like investigation videos. Like I would play like an Elvis song at the beginning and like...
I always used to do that too. Chris Thompson used to always been like, oh my God, I got to turn the volume off. I forgot I was on a Truth Seeker video because I always used to play the songs too and put them to slideshows.
Yeah, so I'm going to move into that territory pretty much. But yeah, they were at the they were at the FR 117 Dispersed Dixie National Forest, and I can confirm that from the Dirt website, which is a confirmation that not many people have had because you got to dig to find out when they were there and the dates. Now, the dates on the Dirt website are wrong because if you look at where they went A to Z during their trip, you would know what dates they were in this area, and it puts it right after Zion when this area shows up on the map. So this is right after Zion, which was what, July? And anybody can go back and cross check this. July 14th through the 20th they were at Zion. So they were at Dixie between July 15th and July 20th. They were at Dixie. And these are pictures not many people have seen, and they put captions with these pictures like best sunset spot, follow our van life journey at Gabby Petito, and bizarre design on Instagram. And they showed a picture from the tent, and then they took this picture and they wrote no fires right now, banned, but you can kind of see it's about to rain. So if you haven't seen these pictures, these are neat because a lot of people didn't get to check them out. But they were at this campsite area. It says, posted to the Dirt website profile, Gabby and Brian V. under reviews on July 22nd, 2021. So it was posted on July 22nd, but that's not the right date. Someone had wrote all these reviews on the same day of multiple sites. So moving on. So July 20th.
They're calling you OCD in there.
I'm sure I am OCD.
I'm OCD. When I get on a subject, I got to dig like crazy, and it's got to be perfect. It's like I don't want to like put out videos with false information or whatever. I want to cross match, verify, check it over a third time. I don't like those people that just throw out random things. I mean, I like when you're having the little chat session about what if, but when you're actually doing the factual stuff, I like what you're doing right here.
Right, and I like to have a balance because you can have where you're just talking, and you can have where you're going through the facts and facts that people haven't really seen. So that's why I also like bringing someone in, because I feel like my first couple live streams, it kind of drags some because I don't have somebody to really join in with me like you, and I really appreciate that. So
Sean wants to know if he can download that map on his iPhone. He can't figure out how. I've got it on my desktop.
Yeah, but I don't think you can download it, because then that would give you the ability to edit it, I think.
I think you just click on the link and then you use it when you want to. Like, you can't really change anything on it, but you can hit links and pop around and do stuff. Kind of like you're going sightseeing on the website. It's not really something you download. I just hit the link and I've got it bookmarked, and whatever I needed, I just pull it up. And if Chris has added new stuff, I hit refresh and his new stuff will show up.
Right. You don't really want to download it, because if it updates, and if you download it, it's just gonna stay wherever you downloaded it at, whatever's on there. And then if you click a link,
Sean's on
it
the
won't
flower
pop up.
pots for us.
On the flower pots?
Yeah, that's why I like people in your chat. You give them some ideas and they'll go digging it, and then at the next live they'll tell you what they found out. He's still on that flower pot. He's gonna find out where that mural was.
This flower pot in the shot right now?
I think the flower pot we were talking about earlier. Because he was the one that told me where to find it, and I found where he said to go, and it listed the company that sells them. But we don't know still where that blue flower pitcher was, if it was across from a dispensary.
Yeah, I was trying to find that. Yeah, good job, Sean.
Sean got it to open on the phone.
Yeah, let us know. So on July 21st, 2021, posted to Gabby Petito's Utah highlight reel, the couple drove through the Red Canyon Arch on July 21st, 2021, and it was a short little video like this. So they passed through the Red Canyon Arch, and then July 21st through the 24th, Bryce Canyon National Park. They posted some pictures from Bryce Canyon National Park, and Gabby wrote, "Such a beautiful drive here. Zion to Cedar Breaks to Bryce." And that's just like what we just went through and what's on the map according to dates. And she wrote, "After the rain, the canyons are visibly a deeper orange." And we can see a picture of Gabby. So sad. She looks so happy. It's crazy. And I don't believe these are videos, correct? Oh yeah, we do have a video. And as we can see, this was posted on Brian's Utah highlight reel on his Instagram page on July 21st, this little video of Bryce Canyon. So carrying on. So see guys, why this presentation is important is because other times where I've showed you guys the maps, I've never been able to really combine dirt, all these other websites. It was always clicking links, and I'm sure a lot of people were getting lost, like what the hell am I looking at, going to this link, going to that link. It got confusing, trust me. So now it's all in one place right here, and we're just working through it. So on July 21st through the 24th, they were still at Bryce Canyon, and Gabby Petito posted this photo, and she wrote, "Every night that we have camped so far inside any national park, it's rained. Rain sounds like a negative thing when you're camping, but after coming back from a strenuous long hike in the sun with no shade for miles, it's nice to lay listening to the cold rain hit your tent at night." And she tagged Brian, and she posted this video. So this is the cooking video that Gabby, I know a lot of us have probably seen the cooking video where they're cooking, you know, it looks like she's cooking like mini pizzas or something. I'm not a cook. Some salads.
It's funny to see the stuff she cooks because it's so unlike camping food. I mean, I've gone camping my whole life with my family, and just like the things we cook when we go camping don't look like that. You know, it's always like the burgers, the hot dogs on the grill, the big pot of chili. We make like these potato cheese things in aluminum foil, you know, bacon and pancakes for breakfast. And it's like she's making like little gourmet meals.
Yeah. Yep. I seen a comment somewhere.
I mean, check out that salad. Who's ever eaten a salad like that on a camping trip?
Right.
They're vegan, though, so it makes sense that they would eat more vegetables. But it's like, yeah, there's not a vegetable anywhere in sight when I go camping.
Right. And I seen somewhere that I seen someone say he just didn't know how lucky he really was that she was really preparing things like that. Sad. But a weird post here that I'm kind of curious about that I wanted to show you guys. All right, so we know Bryce Canyon, July 21st to the 24th, they did the cooking. They went to they went to this big rock's edge. They posted all these pictures down here of them being at the rock's edge. Brian wrote, "I chose to only spend my time in places I don't have to wear shoes. Barefoot lifestyle. Always listen to the Natural Lifestylist podcast when we're traveling on the road." And he posted these pictures of him at the canyon's edge. And Gabby posted pictures at the canyon's edge. But the weird picture that I saw that lines up with this same date, so these pictures were posted on July 22nd, is this one. So posted to Brian's green highlight reel on his Instagram page is this. So I'm guessing this is just them driving. But it lines up with the dates with Bryce. So this must be another area of Bryce. But it kind of looks like that picture where she's sitting in the back of the van and sees Brian Laundrie sitting in the back of the van also. Kind of looks like that same backdrop. But this, it lines up on the same date, so it's there. And that was posted to Brian's green Instagram highlight reel. So moving on. And we have more posts from Bryce Canyon.
Look at that sky.
What's interesting to me, Kathy, is what he wrote right here. Brian Laundrie wrote on this post on July 23rd, he wrote, "Thank you, Gabs Petito, for putting up with me through Utah. A topographic playground." So again, I think I had talked about this in other live streams where I'm telling you, Brian Laundrie was pushing on Gabby to stay out in the middle of nowhere. Like, let's stay out in the middle of nowhere. And
he wanted her away from people. I don't think he liked when she socialized. Look at those fights they got in when they went out in public.
It could be that, yes. I didn't think about it like that. But
different people had mentioned that he would get mad if she didn't tell people they were engaged and different stuff like that. He was kind of possessive and weird about that. And she was probably real happy and chatty with people and probably giving him way more information than he wanted him to know. So I do think that he liked to be way out in the middle of nowhere, and she probably liked to be more around people.
Right. I agree. So this is what alludes to what I was saying in other live stream videos, where so all through Utah, I think he kind of drove her crazy because she wanted to interact with people. She wanted to hit cool destinations so she could make shoot pictures and take videos of them. And he wanted to just be in the middle of nowhere. So where do they go after Bryce Canyon? So there's more posts, but we're going to get to that. If you remember,
what's the date on Bryce Canyon so I can find it on my list?
I know where it is, but I was just saying that in a way. But the next place they go is Mystic Hot Springs after Bryce. And here's just some more pictures. I think Bryce is wrapping up right after this, but so
Brian, give me a date so I know whether to flip pages. I've got like the 6-page list in front of me.
July 21st through the 24th is where we're at right now.
Oh, so you're near Red Arch Canyon time. Oh, I found Bryce Canyon. Okay, I know where you're at.
Yeah. So Brian had wrote that post saying thank you to Gabby for dealing with me through the Utah areas. That's because there was a lot of wilderness. that they could traverse in that area. And a lot of being away from people and really cool sights, just being in random wide open spaces. So moving on, they were at Bryce till 21st through the 24th. And then where do they go next? Like I said, Mystic Hot Springs. Now, does Mystic Hot Springs, Kathy, sound like a place Brian would want to go?
I kind of think if they were going out west, anybody would be open to go anywhere because there's so much sightseeing to do. You don't know what's going to be fun to you and what's not. So I kind of think if they were, it seemed to me as they followed along on the map that they tried to hit every national park they could, kind of like all the touristy places in the national parks. So I'm thinking it just happened to be on their, maybe they made a route plan list before ahead of time. Because, I don't know. It just seems to me that if you made a trip out there, these would be the points you'd hit.
Well, in my opinion,
I would have went to the Utah Salt Flats, though, and they skipped that, and they were very close to it.
In my opinion, I think she dealt with his ass all through Utah and him wanting to hike barefoot out in the middle of nowhere, and she didn't really want to be out in the middle of nowhere. She needed internet. Let's make this note. She needed internet to post her pictures and keep people updated.
Yeah, she was moving into it being a job once she got rolling with this van life social media stuff. So you're right. She needed Wi-Fi where she went.
Right. So he dragged her all along out in the wilderness to these places where she didn't really want to be out in the middle of nowhere. She likes to travel, but in my opinion, she didn't want to be out in the middle of nowhere. So they make a deal. So if you look at the map, I still have the map pulled up here, right? If you look at the map, if my computer wants to cooperate, which it might not. But Mystic Hot Springs, Kathy, is well north of where they were headed. It's like they decided to take a different route to get where they were going.
Well, but as they're traveling along, they're meeting people. So when they're in these other areas, especially if they're camping with other people or meeting people at the grocery, in town, you got to figure there's going to be people that are like, oh, as long as you're out here, you got to see such and such before you go home. So that might be why they went off track a couple times. Because if I was out on a trip like that and someone told me, oh, you've got to see this, and it was only like 100 miles away, I'd be like, yeah, we can do a day trip, especially if they were showing you pictures of it on your phone and you're going, oh, that's so beautiful. So I kind of don't find it surprising if they went off their path here and there to go to places.
No, I agree. But what I'm getting at is, so here's Bryce on the map, right? And here's Mystic Hot Springs up here north. And then they're going to go this way. Moab's over this direction. They're going to go east, back over this way. So they could have left out of Bryce and just went this way. But instead, they went well up north to come back down. So what I'm getting at is, I think Brian drove her crazy going all through Utah, wanting to be out in the middle of nowhere all that time. And he made a deal with her. I don't think he wanted to go to Mystic Hot Springs to go lay in a bathtub in the middle of nowhere. It wasn't his deal. Plus, he didn't post many Instagram pictures or photos at that time. Honestly, let me see. Gabby's the only one who posted pictures from the Mystic Hot Springs. He didn't post one photo or video. So I think they made a deal where Gabby said, all right, well, now since you drove me all through here with no internet and all this, I want to go to this cool place where I can take cool pictures in this bathtub that's hooked to the rock and post them where we'll get internet access, and it's a cool place I like. And he agreed. So they drove well north where she wanted to go, and that's why now we have pictures of the Mystic Hot Springs. And that's just my opinion.
Well, I also wonder, and I know this is speculation, but as far as this trip goes, I'm wondering how much of it she was funding, because he was out of money enough that he needed to use a debit card. So it's possible that she kind of got to decide if she wanted to go to these other places, because it's like it was her gas money. Even though as a couple, they probably considered it, what's yours is mine, what's mine is yours, like our money. But in reality, it's like, I think she bankrolled this.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. But she also can't be alone. She doesn't like to drive by herself.
No, she needed somebody to go with her.
Right.
And I've bankrolled trips with guys before. It's like you want to go somewhere, you can't go alone, so it's like you just get a friend or someone to go with you.
But coming from, and I can kind of understand Gabby, because I've always been into social media and posting and making videos and stuff like that to understand her a little bit. When you meet someone, say a significant other, who really isn't into that kind of thing, you know what ends up happening is that person actually gets more control over you. The reason why is because you're so pushing on them to want to be a part of what you're doing, and they don't give a damn, that if they just walk away and they don't give a damn. So guess what? You give into them. Like, all right, I'll let you. We can do this and this that you want to do. Just do this with me. So when I read into their relationship, that's what I see a lot of. I see Gabby being like, let's do this. I want to do pictures here. I want to do videos here. And him probably saying no. And then they're probably arguing, going back and forth. And she's probably saying to him, oh, well, if you do this, I'll do that. And there's hostility growing. When one person doesn't do the thing that the other one wanted them to do, the hostility grows into a fight. So I just feel like Brian had the power, because Brian at any time could say to her, I'm just going to get out and leave. You drive the van. I don't give a shit. I'll walk. I'll go hike for a while. I don't need these pictures and shit. And you know what that does? That makes Gabby weak. I know, as bad as that sounds, but that makes her the weaker person when you're in them two positions, in them two roles. That's how I see them. So Brian drove her crazy all through Utah, in my opinion. But he controlled pretty much where they went. And I think that's... A lot of people elaborate on that. Like they say, oh, we think Brian was controlling and all this and all that. Doesn't necessarily mean someone was controlling. It just means that was their dynamic of their relationship. Now, I'm not saying he wasn't controlling. Let me set that straight. I'm saying... it probably developed naturally, because Gabby wanted so much to have someone with the same interest as her to do the things that she wanted to do. And
she wanted to please them too. Everyone wants to please their partner.
Right.
Well, not somebody that's like a narcissistic idiot, but a regular, normal person. When you first get with someone and, you know, you've only been together a couple of years, it's like you're trying to like make them happy too and compromise on stuff.
Right. And all relationships go through that compromising type of phase. But I think when you throw in the social media angle and stuff like that, if you have a significant other who don't give a damn about that, then you lose. I'm telling you, you lose power in it, because you don't have nobody to do it with you, and you I don't know. I guess I feel like I understand her a lot in that.
Well, I don't want to necessarily say domestic violence, but controlling relationships, they try to separate you from your family, separate you from your hobbies and other interests. They try to seclude you. I mean, eventually they do these things in steps, and it's almost like, you know, watching a clock move or a pot of water boil. It takes so long, and they do it progressively over years, to where it's like, if he was like that with her, it was probably totally different when they first got together. And as this trip went on, it probably slowly got worse. He had posted something with that engagement picture. Do you still have that I sent you, that he said the really good thing or the really bad thing?
Yeah, I can't really pull it up though at this moment, because
I can find it and read it.
Yeah, it's not on this because this is just our trip, but I do have it saved. Yes. And yes, I agree with you. That you're kind of elaborating right on the point I'm saying is, yeah, it starts small like that. There are differences, and then it develops, and it develops, and it develops to the point where next thing you know, he's just taking control of the van, where he's just saying, screw you. I don't care if you got a post. I'm going to get out of the van here. You'll have to wait for me for 4 days. You know, stuff like that could be going on. And she's on this rigid time schedule trying to make this into a passion of hers and a business of hers. He don't care. He don't see it that way. So they were at the Mystic Hot Springs on July 26, 2021. Now this is where we get into the meat of things. Now we're going to see a better picture of the whole Moab region and what was going on. So when you look on their social media pages, we could never figure out exactly when and where certain posts were because there was no location tagged and there's nothing in the picture that identifies where they were. So we figured out the dates of certain videos and now we know. So the tablet picture, which a lot of people didn't even know they had a tablet, that's a big thing too because a lot of people were like, how was Brian calling people and doing this? You can call people from a tablet. You can get service on a tablet or you can use hotspot on a tablet. So maybe he was using the tablet a lot, even though I think he had a phone. I do think he had a phone. So according to the
He had a phone in the body cam. You saw him put it in his pocket. Someone pointed that out in the last live.
Right. So according to the dates, on July 27th is when this tablet picture was taken. It's a short video that just shows July 27th, Kathy, that's the same day she posted the YouTube video, right? Pretty certain.
July 27th. July 27th to the 8th, I've got Capitol Reef National Park.
Yeah. So that's...
I don't have written down which video she had because you had it on your...
I'm pretty sure it was the 27th.
Yeah, you had it on your map.
So I'm pretty sure July 27th was the day she posted the YouTube video. And she had also taken this picture and posted it to her van life highlight reel of the tablet. And here's the, look, there's the van life picture. See it in the shot? And then also on July 27th, when you know the dates, she posted this video, which is kind of like a psychedelic video. And Brian posted to his art highlight reel this video, which is Gabby Petito's hand waving a weird looking picture. And then he posted this highlight reel video, which he tagged Capitol Reef. So we know July 27th, Brian was at the Capitol Reef. You still with me, Kathy?
Yeah, I'm going through looking for that picture. I'm not looking at your screen.
No, I thought I lost you for a second.
Nope, I'm here.
So July 27th.
I sent it to your messenger if you want to get it and read it.
Okay, I got you. I'll pull it up 1 second. So July 27th, they were at the Capitol Reef. So they went from the Mystic Hot Springs to the Capitol Reef, posted this video, showed the tablet, and then now we're entering into the Moab area. And we have July 29th through the 31st, Canyonlands. Do they look like they were fighting? No. Brian wrote at Canyonlands, barefoot hiking. So all of these posts that you're looking at right now were done on July 29th. So they were at Canyonlands July 29th through the 31st. And they posted this video of the arch at Canyonlands. That looks like a beautiful view though. So all around this time, remember we kept getting confused about this, Kathy, about where they must have went to the Capitol Reef, back to Canyonlands, to the Capitol Reef? Remember?
Yep.
So basically what we have, guys, is after me and Kathy have really narrowed it down, July 29th through the 31st, even up to August 2nd and August 7th, they were around Canyonlands in the Capitol Reef region. That's where I put them. So moving on. And they were around the Crystal Geyser. The Crystal Geyser. So I'm hoping what I'm going to be able to do for you guys is really be able to print this out in a way and give you guys all a copy of all this, because this is important to go along with the map. It's huge. So we have July 29th to the 31st. They were at Canyonlands. I told you, Kathy, you can't go through this without... It's a lot of information, ain't it?
It is a ton.
It really is. So,
but it's nice that you have it all put together in
yeah,
slideshow form.
I just hate feeling like I drag when I'm making the video. That kind of makes me upset. I don't want people to feel like it drags on them. So, Canyonlands, July. We went through a good chunk of this, so maybe do you think I should keep reading the captions or just kind of
only if you find that it's something like really strange. The thing is with this slideshow you're doing right now, you can make a separate video that's not a live stream and actually go through this from the beginning to the end. That way people want to see it, they can rewind to the areas they're looking for, and you can actually show every video and, you know, zoom in on the things they wrote, and people can like take their time kind of like going through it at their own pace. Like you don't have to watch the whole long thing at once, but you've got it like documented on your channel, not mixed in with the live, just like the whole thing, like a separate video on its own. And I think they'll get a lot more detail. The live is actually showing them all the information so they know, you know, how accurate and how deep you dug and all the detail and stuff. So it's like they'll be able to go back to your video to find this stuff later. So when you make another one, it's like you can go more in detail about each spot.
All right, I gotcha. So how we're going to do this from here on out is we're just going to run through the dates. And if I run into like the dirt or stuff like that, I'll read that because I know a lot of people haven't seen them. So July 29th through the 31st, we have them at Canyonlands National Park. And then July 29th, August 11th. Now, this is the one you brought up to me, Kathy. We have a dirt post for a review site. And this place is connected to Arches National Park. And a lot of people didn't know about this little spot, but they did write a review on it. And it's called BLM 378. It's a little campground area, I believe. And it's on Willow Spring Road. And they wrote a review on it, and this is right before you go into Arches National Park. And the review was posted on July 29th. But that's not the correct date. Or it could be. That could be the correct date. So, all the reviews were wrote on the same couple days, which was like the 22nd to the 29th. And the 29th lines up about with this date. So, they wrote, beautiful open sky view. And this is right going into Arches National Park. Highly recommend taking a walk to watch the stars very late at night. There is a spot past the trees where the sky completely opens up. Really nice spot in the shade to put a tent. Got to watch a crazy thunderstorm in our newly converted van. Follow our journey, nomadicstatic.com at YouTube. And you see, they said the Nomadic Static YouTube page because now the YouTube video has been posted at this point. So they're sharing that information. And you see I put the date as July 29th through August 11th for this area because it gets really confusing. Me and Kathy, I keep getting your name, Kathy, mixed up with Gabby. That's weird.
Great, I'm next to be dead.
No. But it does come together when you talk like that. It's weird. So the reason why the dates are July 29th through August 11th through that whole period right there, they were either near the Crystal Geyser, Canyonlands, and Arches National Park. So they could have been in the Moab region going back as far as July 28th, guys. You know that, Kathy?
Say that again, I was reading the chat.
They could have been in the Moab region where the other two girls were killed. They could have been there since July 28th in that area. See, a lot of people see the police stop was on August 12th, and they think, oh, that's when they were in the area. No, they were in the area of Moab from like July 28th to up to the 12th, even, and then further.
Well, I gotta tell you, and this is weird, like, you know, tinfoil hat stuff, but I charted out from the date of the Moab incident, when Gabby was last seen, when her body was found, where Crystal and Kylan were last seen and when their bodies were found. And there was another guy, Robert Laurie, that went missing. And I had written down when he went missing and when his body was found. And it's like, I'm telling you what, I know we don't want to get sidetracked here, but there could possibly be something to do with these 3 incidents. Don't know how they'd be connected. I haven't really looked at it or figured it out or tried to figure it out because, you know, we've been so busy with this. But it's like those dates are very strange and all in the same area and all at the same time.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, when I say same time, I mean within like a week and a half. So it's like if you're out camping, like you said, they were there for a long time. It's like there could be a serial killer running wild. We might find out Brian didn't do this to her.
I mean, that's possible, and there could be a serial killer running around, or it could be Brian did a lot of things we don't know. We don't know.
Well, the sad thing for Brian is if there was a serial killer running around and he just ditched her and left and came home and acted like nothing happened, it's like, that's not too cool.
Right.
For him to do that. But if they got in a fight and she said, I'm leaving you, goodbye, and she just took off in the van and then got killed later and he went home and the parents said, well, you got to go back and get her. And he went back and got her and couldn't find her, but got the van and brought that home without her. That's still weird. So, I mean, I kind of got to say it's looking like he killed her, but it's like there was a killer out there somewhere.
I mean,
the Robert Laurie supposedly was shot in the head, and the other 2 women were shot, but they ruled Laurie's a suicide. But it's like a lot of people can shoot somebody in the head and make it look like a suicide. They just got to do a close range, you know, put it in their mouth. And as long as you don't find the murder weapon and you're not checking the person for gunshot residue because they're long gone, it's like they can often confuse a suicide for a murder.
Right. And either way, and I keep trying to tell people this, the murders are connected by location. And
yes, all 3 of them are very connected by location.
Right, and I just don't understand. I see in some Facebook groups sometimes when I'm just debating, like just kind of theorizing, people actually get mad if you're talking about Gabby Petito and bring up the other people. And I'm like, why are you getting mad about this? Like, they should all be looked into equally. Like, we should be looking into all of them, not to just find a connection, but because they all deserve to know. They all have mothers and fathers and brothers and sisters, and they all deserve to know what happened to them. You know what I mean? And people actually get mad about it. Like, if you're talking about Gabby and you talk about Kylan and Crystal, they get mad. Or they instantly assume that you're trying to build a connection. None of my videos were trying to build a connection. They were all trying to figure out the facts of what happened in this area. And they were all connected by this area. They were. So, but continuing on with the presentation here, and we're going to quickly go through the rest here, guys. So this is the confusion picture that me and Gabby, oh my God, I did it again, Kathy. Me and Kathy.
Maybe Gabby, because I talk a lot.
me and Kathy debated on here was this weird picture. Now, a lot of people think this picture was the second to last picture Gabby took on her Instagram page right here. The picture of her laying down in the back of the van and looking at Brian sitting near the back door. But the picture on Gabby's Instagram page, that is her second to last picture, okay, which is this picture, was actually a repost. Because the original picture was uploaded to Brian's van life highlight story on August 2nd, okay? So even though this picture comes in right next to the Ogden picture where she's standing out near the Monarch with the wall art behind her, this would be the picture posted right before that, even though it was a repost. Because this original picture was taken August 2nd, which puts this picture around the Arches National Park and around like Canyonlands area. That's when that picture was taken. And also alongside it was this video. And these videos were all around the Capitol Reef, from the Capitol Reef region up to Arches National Park. And it was all in that region is when this picture was taken. It almost looks like a cover-up, like pictures were deleted and moved around. So on August 7th, Brian Laundrie posted this story highlight reel, and he's at the Crystal Geyser. And that picture of them in the back of the van, that was August 2nd. So this was all going into Arches National Park, guys. Even though they were reposted to Gabby Petito's Instagram page as some of her last pictures. And we broke down on this picture right here, this could be a drone shot. They did have a drone. Now, where's all their drone pics and video? We've never seen them. This is the only possible drone shot we've seen right here. But this was on August 7th.
Yeah, the drone shot of the van from the air.
Right.
Maybe the reason for that, though, is maybe somewhere a day or two before that is when Brian went to the store and bought a new toy. Or Gabby did, and they said, wow, we really need a drone for this. So it may have been a new toy. Then after the murder or disappearance or whatever, he destroyed that drone to destroy its electronics that you had told us last time it collects data.
Right. And it does collect data, but them drones are expensive. Like that drone that they have is like an $800 drone. It's expensive. And we know they didn't really have that much money. So from the Crystal Geyser, August 7th, they leave there, and now they're at Arches National Park. And look, guys, I completely compiled all of their Arches National Park posts in this one spot. It's all here. And I want to make this downloadable for you guys so you guys can all have this information. This is like looking at a magazine. It's crazy looking.
Maybe they ran into someone at a campsite that let them borrow the drone just to do that one video. And that picture we see of Gabby holding the drone, and then they gave it back to the people. That's possible too.
That's possible. Or it could be like, see how they're up on the rock like they are right here in this shot? If the van is parked down below, this would almost reach that angle where they're up.
But we saw the picture where she had the drone in her hand.
Right. I agree. But I'm just saying it's possible maybe they were up on a cliff over the van somewhere and took the shot. But yeah, the drone is
What
still
day was
possible,
that
too.
van slice? What day was that taken?
August 7th.
And I'm looking to see what day was 420 pizza.
Oh, that was way back.
Because that's where she was holding the drone.
Yeah, that was
well,
way before.
She definitely not necessarily was holding the drone in that picture, because the picture 420 Pizza had two pictures overlaid, like put together. So that could have just been a picture on her phone that she sent to the guy, and he put it with his 420 box, or he could have found it somewhere else on the internet. Someone in chat last time said that had been posted on like websites like 50 times. We just hadn't seen it. So she didn't necessarily have the drone at 420 Pizza. It was just a picture the 420 Pizza guy put on his website in a post about her.
Right, that could have been a really random picture. So yeah, it's debatable. It's definitely debatable. So they were in Arches National Park August 7th through the 13th. And they had their police stop, which we played in last live streams. I'm not going to play it in this one because we're just running through the presentation here, guys. You can go back anytime and watch our other live streams, and we really dig deep into this whole timeline. But this is the presentation of all the facts. We're bringing all our facts and all our evidence together so we can keep breaking it down, compiling it, and then I'm sending it out to you guys so you guys can look at it and break it down and compile it, and we can try to find answers for Gabby's family. So August 12th, they were stopped by police, and Brian posted all these pictures around that time. From August 7th through August 13th, Brian Laundrie posted these pictures, all these pictures, on his Instagram page. August 13th. So this is the day after the police stop. is when he posted all these pictures and wrote these posts. So he doesn't look very upset, to say the least. But they could have been back together. But the weird thing is, Gabby's not in none of these pictures that he posted around this time.
Yeah, Tex, you're right. If someone took a drone shot of their van, they would have come forward. With all the social media postings, I would think that would be true.
Right. I agree. So then we have August 17th through the 24th. And I didn't bring up Crystal and Kylan because we're just focusing on Gabby right now. I know I have in other videos, but we're just staying focused on the Gabby story. So what we have here is August 17th through the 24th. August 17th, Brian apparently flies home to Florida, leaving Gabby behind in a hotel to move their stuff from a storage unit into his parents' house to save money and not pay for the storage unit anymore. So me and Kathy went in and dug into this hotel. This hotel is connected to the airport, guys, and a lot of people didn't know that.
He flew out of that airport. So
Yeah.
basically, she stayed in the hotel while he took off.
So that's why a lot of people, we would have knew a long time ago that he did fly out. If you would have known, we all would have known that the hotel is connected to the airport. So
She
it was
could have
planned.
gotten a fight with him and dumped him at the airport. And he could have had a one-way ticket. I looked him up. They're only $128. He flew from Salt Lake City to Tampa. So they could have gotten a fight and she could have sent him on his way. And then over the course of the next couple days, talking on the phone and stuff, they could have made up. So he bought another one-way ticket to come back. It's still only $250 if you add them both together. So it's possible they got in a fight along the way shortly after that police stop, but then they made up.
What if they were drug smugglers?
I don't think so.
I'm just saying, like, what if they got a bunch of marijuana at Colorado and then he flew it back? I'm just saying. And then,
well, I have hung with some drug dealers before, and I'll tell you what, if you're on a road trip in a van, you are going to drive it back a lot easier than you're going to fly it back as far as getting caught.
but if you're in a desperate situation and really need some money,
then you're going to sell it where you're at. You're not going to transport it.
Hey, I agree. I'm just speculating, but I don't know. It's just the whole flying back thing just blows my mind.
I think
too.
they had a fight. I think either the flight is bullshit because we've seen no witnesses, no proof, no nothing other than his lawyer making the statement and his sister making the statement. So until I get a little more proof of that, I'm not 100% sold on the flight. I mean, I'm like 85% sold, but I'm not 100% sold on the flight.
Well, I would think the police and the FBI would have come out by now and been like, no, that's not true. No.
Well, they're not giving us too much information because it's ongoing investigation and they're trying to trap Brian.
True.
You know, plus the more that lawyer blabs, if this goes to trial, the more things the prosecution will have to say, well, you made this statement, and you made this statement, and this isn't true, and we could prove this isn't true. So, like, no one's really going to show us their cards until... Now, if Brian's found dead, they might start releasing information. Right. But if there's going to be a trial, they're going to be tight-lipped.
Right. So August 21st, Gabby's dad orders her pizza. We went through a lot of this, so I'm just kind of moving through it. I know it's getting late. I know everybody's going to get a little bit tired soon. I don't want it to go on for 5 hours like our other live streams. So what we're going to do after this live Kathy, is we're going to go in and we're going to set up a schedule, and we're going to stick to that schedule if we can. We're going to try to work it out for you guys, and we're going to start doing more videos where we debate the subject matter instead of looking at the facts, because I want to start getting into that also. But so August 23rd, Brian flies back and meets up with Gabby at the hotel. August 24th, Gabby and Brian check out of the Fairfield Inn Hotel, Salt Lake City. Now, supposedly, witnesses saw both of them leave the hotel on August 24th. But I get a lot of conflicting information about that. Like whether it was just Gabby who left the hotel on August 24th. And then some other places I see it was both of them. So, I'm unsure about that. So this is the picture I was talking about where the picture where they're sitting in the back of the van, the picture where they're sitting in the back of the van, this picture is the last picture before these pictures. And these were Gabby Petito's last Instagram photos. Okay? So her last Instagram photos were this and this picture. So why did she post this picture of her and Brian next to her last Instagram photos near the Monarch? When this picture was taken on August 2nd, why did she repost it on August 25th or around that same time period? I don't know. It just looked to me a little bit like a cover-up a little bit. But on August 25th, 2021, Gabby Petito's last Instagram photos are taken near the Monarch, which is 455 25th Street, Ogden, Utah. And these are the photos.
Hang on. I got you to back you up a second.
Okay.
At the beginning of this, you played the FBI interview.
Right.
Or press conference today. Bridget's pretty sure that they called... Oh, never mind. She clarified it. Okay, so they did call him a person of interest. I was telling her that they hadn't upgraded him to a suspect yet, and she was saying yes, they had, but now she just put in there that, never mind, sorry, truth seeker, they did say person of interest. I was just going to clarify that, but she's now thinking the same way as what we said, so it's okay, Bridget. We're good.
I say a lot of things that go off the rails sometimes. So then we get to the questionable, guys, and there's no social media post after the whole Ogden area. So now we get to the questions, which is we have on August 25th or August 26th, the witness reports. A business owner has said that Gabby Petito and her fiance, Brian Laundrie, spent 20 minutes in their store in Idaho on either August 25th or August 26th. The witness said, they told me they were traveling from Florida. They had just been to Teton Park, and they said they were interested in going to Yellowstone, and I told them they could go to the west entrance. The owner of the Rustic Row in Victor for EastIdahoNews.com said. The witness said they seemed happy, and as they left, she shouted back from the door that they were engaged. And then I said, congratulations, she added. The store owner told local news media that she had reported this information to the police. Now, this is in Idaho, guys. This is what Kathy was talking about earlier, that people speculated, did they go to Idaho? And yes, according to this witness, they did go to Idaho. But we don't...
The Rustic Row on Main Street in Victor, Iowa.
Yeah, but we don't know 100% for sure. It sounds 100% like it was them, but we don't know. It's questionable, okay? And if we pull up the map...
The owner went pretty much into detail.
I agree.
And if you look on the map, it's not that far, especially if they were supposedly heading towards Yellowstone. Or Yosemite. No, I think it was Yellowstone, they said.
What also plays into that? Remember the dirt markers? Kind of lines with that? Like they would have went that way?
The other guy interacted with Brian at Bullwingle's Saloon, and that was in Yellowstone. So if you map from this
it's right
Rustic
outside.
Row in Victor, Idaho to the Yellowstone, they're right next to each other.
So we're going to show you something, guys, that we didn't really break down before in other videos. And this is important to show. So this is the big question about the case. If my map would not be slow here, I would get there a lot faster for you guys. Alright, so the Rustic Row is in Victor, Idaho, okay? The place where Gabby's body was found was in Wyoming, okay? It's right on the border. So look, right here is the Rustic Row, okay? Right here is Mary Piglet's, which we haven't got to just yet. Okay? Up here is Bullwinkles, which we haven't got to yet. We're going to break all this down. Now, see the green markers on the map for anybody who's went on and looked at the map, okay? The green markers are possible go-to spots that they had marked long ago before they set out on this trip. So the green markers you're seeing are possible spots they wanted to go. One of those is Spread Creek, which is right here. This is where Gabby's remains were found. Okay? So most people, when they put the case together, they have them going to Mary Piglet's here, and then going north up here to Spread Creek, which is right here. But we have this random witness on August 25th, August 26th, in Idaho over here to the west, who reports he seen them. And he told them to go to the west gate. Where's the west gate? The west gate's right here. This is the west gate entrance to Yellowstone up here, far north. Now this is where Gabby's body was found. We went through this, but now we're adding in the dirt markers. So let's say they were following the dirt markers that they had laid out where they wanted to go on their trip. So here's one, and here's one. And then there's the ones in Spread Creek. If they went into Victor, Idaho, and they went to this store, like this witness is saying, and they went towards the west gate, well, guess what? They went this way, they went up Route 25, and they run smack dab into one of their markers that they had picked here, which is Targhee Creek Trailhead. And guess what that sits next to? Bullwinkle Saloon, which we have another witness statement, but a lot of people don't believe this witness because it doesn't fit with where they went. If they went to Mary Piglet's and got in that big blowout fight that we all know about, just north of Mary Piglet's is the Spread Creek area. But what if they went to Victor? And then what if they went up to Targhee? What if they got in a fight at Targhee and Gabby left Brian behind because they were fighting, drove into Yellowstone, drove through Yellowstone to get away from him, and parked at Spread Creek down here? Now Brian Laundrie is abandoned up here by Bullwinkles. So what if Brian went into Bullwinkles and got a drink because he was pissed off? Now Brian don't know where Gabby Petito went, okay? But Brian does know by looking at his phone the dirt website. So Brian could pull up the dirt website and go, oh, we had marked that we wanted to go to Targhee, we wanted to go to Backcountry Campsite, we wanted to go to Grassy Lake Road Campsite, and we wanted to go to Spread Creek. So, let's just say if Gabby abandoned Brian because they were fighting so bad, he could track her, not by tracking her phone, but he could visit each of these sites. And we also have a witness report of Gabby Petito's friend who was meeting her at Yellowstone around this time period. So Gabby would find her strength in that moment. And if she was going to leave Brian, when do most people leave their significant other? When they have a safety net of friends. When they have
a safety net of a place to go.
Safety net of a place to go and friends. So she would stick around Yellowstone because she knows she has her safety net now. And she knows
now,
she won't have to drive.
her and Rose hadn't gotten together and confirmed exact details yet, though. And I kept saying that when they were in the fight and she was at the hotel alone, I would think that's when she would have called Rose, cried on her shoulder, and said, look, we need to set up a definite date here.
Right.
Rose kind of had a ballpark of what day and what time, or, what day they were going to meet, but not like what time and what exact location. She was just kind of waiting to see as Gabby went along on her trip, like, where was it going to fit in?
Right. So let's just say we're following this theory through, okay? So if Brian was left up by Bullwinkles, he got drunk, he got enraged, he's going to come looking for Gabby. Gabby can't drive home. Gabby doesn't like to drive the van. She's scared. She's trying to get away from him. She's trying to get a hold of her friend. And like Kathy just said, they had plans, but first she had to get a hold of her friend to find her. She hadn't got a hold of her yet. So she had to find a spot to duck off. Where did she find? Sprague Creek. Now Brian's out here wandering the wilderness.
Now, well, also, he was seen, it was 11:50 p.m. at Bullwinkle's. The guy remembers he was there at least that late. So Gabby, if they got in a fight and was hunting for a place, it's like she was in the dark. She didn't know where she was going. She didn't like to drive. She was going to possibly pull up her dirt app and just find the nearest place that she had marked that she would like to go camping because she had researched in the past and just head there.
And far enough where she wouldn't think he would get to her. That's how I would see it. So if that's the case, he's enraged and he knows these markers. Remember we speculated when we were looking at the map many times, why did Brian go so far north of Sprague Creek hitchhiking? Here's his hitchhiking points. Right here. So he went this far north of Sprague Creek. And we know he caught rides that took him back down to Sprague Creek, which is the yellow spot. This is where Gabby's remains were found. So he caught rides back to here. So it looks possible, guys, is what we're pointing out here. It looks possible that the Victor witness was correct. And it looks possible that Gabby and Brian went to this place which nobody really checked into, or we've had any witness reports of it, of this place called Targhee Creek. So anybody who's out there watching right now, see if you can find information on Targhee Creek, because you might find something. And then you got your witness report, but here's the dates. This is what throws this theory off, okay? So, as I said, the Rustic Row was visited, the witness said, on August 25th or August 26th. Mary Piglets, who is pretty much absolutely proven that Gabby and Brian were there, was on August 27th. And the red, white, and Bethune video that captured Gabby's van at Sprague Creek was on August 27th also. So in order for this to work, what we're theorizing now is they would have went to the Rustic Row on August 25th, August 26th, went up north. Let's say the 25th. They would have hit Targhee. But when were they at? When did the Bullwinkles witness see Brian, supposedly? August 26th. So it does fit, right, Kathy? Yeah, it does fit, actually.
Yes, Bullwinkles was the 20. He wasn't positive. It was the 25th or the 26th. But the Rustic Row guy also said it was 25th or 26th. Neither of them were 100% positive on the date. So they both fit perfect. And on the 26th, Jessica Schultz claims she passed the van and she thought only Brian was in it, but it was at the Sprague Creek Teton National Forest at 8 p.m. on the 26th. Then on the 27th, Jessica Schultz also claims to have seen the van again on the side of the road, but she thought it looked abandoned at Sprague Creek Teton National Forest, Wyoming.
Yeah, but Mary Piglets is in there too. Mary Piglets was on the 27th at 1 to 2 p.m.
But Mary Piglets comes up on the 27th, yeah.
So so if we put all this together, let's say they were at the Rustic Row on August 25th. They went up to the West Gate, which would put them up here near Bullwinkles, where the Bullwinkles witness said he saw Brian on August 26th around, 11 p.m., you said. If Gabby left him near Bullwinkles up at this Targhee spot and drove back south, maybe she went to this site, Grassy Lake Road. Maybe her and Brian made up on the 26th. They got back together and were still fighting. Or, like we theorized before, Kathy, or they didn't make up. So Gabby left him at Bullwinkles and drove all the way back down near Mary Piglets. The next morning of the 27th, she went to the Mary Piglets and got breakfast.
Well,
Then
wait
Brian,
a minute. On the 27th, Bet's Pie made a post that said her parents saw Gabby alone on the Wi-Fi at the deck store showers of Signal Mountain Campground. They also say they saw Brian alone about 10 a.m. pulling into the campground. So whatever happened at Bullwinkle's the day before, by the 27th, they were at Signal Mountain Campground, if that Bet's Pie is correct.
Right. Or it could be, and this is just another theory. So if she left him at Bullwinkle's and she drove back down here south by Mary Piglets again, she went through...
Mary Piglets was 1 p.m., yeah.
She went through Yellowstone, then parked somewhere down here where people are because she's probably getting beat up or something by him. Who knows? Then the next morning on the 27th, she went to Mary Piglets. By that time, Brian Laundrie had made his way all the way from up by Bullwinkle's overnight to Mary Piglets. He walks inside and sees Gabby Petito sitting at a table getting breakfast. Guess what? Big fight breaks out.
Or he pulls into that campground that morning at 10 a.m., gets her, and then they end up at Mary Piglets and the fight's still going on.
Yeah. He finds her on the 27th.
I think they had several fights and split up a couple of times during this trip.
Yeah. But if we're just sticking to that theory for right now, so if he was left up by Bullwinkle's, he was enraged. He found her near or around on the way to Mary Piglets. And then that was the big fight that popped off at the Mary Piglets. And then I believe, and I've theorized this with Kathy also, he went in and out of the Mary Piglets 4 or 5 times, the witnesses said, pissed and angry. What we were thinking was they were fighting again. And she got out while he was fighting with the counter girl and took off again. Left him again. Now she's going to head back up towards Yellowstone because guess what? She's waiting for her friend again. So she heads back up towards Yellowstone and she parks at Spread Creek. Now Brian's double enraged. He's been out all night searching for her. Now he's double enraged. He goes hiking up using the dirt app again. He goes north to Grassy Lake Road campsite because that's one of the spots on the dirt website. He's like, she must have drove up that far north trying to get away from me. So he went that far north and then he hiked back to where he got picked up at Coulter Bay Village.
Yeah, the two different hitchhikers on the 29th within an hour of each other.
Yeah. And then during that time also while he's trying to find her is when Red, White, and Bethune passed by the van and seen it. And Gabby might have been alive still then when they drove by in the van. And then he hitchhikes back down to Spread Creek. Enraged, double enraged. She done left him twice. And he knows where she is because of these dirt markers. This is why you guys should definitely go online and get the map and look into this because you can put your own theories together of this. He finds her and he kills her. So I believe that she died on the 27th, the same day. She died the early morning of the 28th. That's my opinion of when she died. That's my opinion.
Well, because he hitchhiked on the 29th and acted kind of crazy, and he didn't want the one people to take him back towards Jackson.
Right.
But,
oh yeah, remember I said this to you too, Kathy. So when they got in the big fight at Mary Piglets, probably the police, or they thought the police were called. And that's also why Gabby peeled off and left him. And then I think Brian ran into the woods.
Well, on the 29th, Gabby was also to meet her friend in Yellowstone, but doesn't show up.
Right.
So they didn't have a set place and time yet, but that was the agreed upon date as they were doing back and forth through Snapchat. The 30th was the no service in Yosemite message to her mother. Yosemite's down in California. She was never going to Yosemite.
Right. I think this all points to she died late night of the 27th or the early morning of the 28th is when she was dead. He found her in his rage of hitchhiking and strangled her to death.
Mom got the message about Stan on the 27th, which was very weird.
Yep.
And then you got the hitchhikers. It's like that time period right there, that couple of day time period, has to be when she was killed.
Right. So, putting all that in the facts together. So, yeah, we went to the rustic. And like we said, Bullwinkle's was on the August 26th. Hunter Manny's told the New York Post that he saw a man who he believed to be Brian Laundrie sitting at the bar alone on August 26th at the Bullwinkle Saloon. And then...
Now, Sean's thinking that the night of Piglets, she got killed.
Yeah, that's about the same time I am too, Sean. I'm saying late night, August 27th, or
Piglets was the 27th, yeah.
Yeah, early morning. I'm talking like 1 a.m. of
well, Piglets was at 1 in the afternoon on the 27th, and then the red, white, and butane video was at 6 to 6:30 p.m.
Right. She was still alive then, I think. I think she was still alive.
And the mom gets the message from Stan on the 27th. So it's like, to me, that's bingo day.
Yeah, I think
the 29th he was doing the weird hitchhiking. So in the wee hours of the morning on the 28th.
Oh, okay, yeah, I forgot. The hitchhiking was on the 29th. Yeah, so it doesn't fit what I'm saying that much.
He did the weird, acting weird with the hitchhiking and didn't want to go back in that direction.
Right. That was on the 29th.
So all the weird stuff at Piglet's fight, then the van on the side of the road, then the mother gets the Stan text message on the 27th. I wish I knew what time that text message came in, but I do think that sometime in the wee hours of the morning between the 27th and the 29th, you know, like that 30th, but kind of really early in the morning, middle of the night, is when she got it.
Well, I think
then he took off hitchhiking in the evening. The hitchhiking was 6 p.m. and one place was 5:30 and one was 6:30 for the hitchhiking.
No, see, I messed up then. So I think she died after his hitchhiking. I think he hitchhiked back, and then he killed her when he found her. And I think they got separated multiple times between the 27th and the 29th.
Well, on the 29th, he was dropped back off at Spread Creek Dispersed Camping Area at about 6:40. The first ride was at 5:30, and it was north of the crime scene. The Coulter Bay Showers, Moran, Wyoming, dropped off southbound parking lot, Jackson Lake Dam, Wyoming at 6 p.m. So the second hitchhiker, which they mentioned, was after a Catholic mass service, Chapel of the Sacred Heart, Grand Teton National Park. I'm going to believe that lady with the hitchhiking story. Because, I mean, the little lady leaving church isn't going to make this up. So since her hitchhiking story and the other hitchhiking story, the time periods match, I believe both of those hitchhikers. Or the hitchhike pickups.
So to fix it, I agree with you. To fix what I was saying is, so at Mary Piglet's, so I believe they went up north. They went to the West Gate. They got in a fight up there. She left him up there. She drove back down. They got in a fight up there around August 25th. She drove back down she got in a fight with him up there August 26th up by Bullwinkle's. He went to the bar that night on the 26th, I believe, if I'm quoting that correctly. Let me make sure. Yeah, August 26th. So they got in a fight August 26th. She left him up by Bullwinkle's, and she drove back down south towards Mary Piglet's. He followed her. I believe on the August 27th, he had found her at the Mary Piglet's at 1 to 2 o'clock p.m. that next day, after hitchhiking all night, and he was pissed. They got in an argument at the Mary Piglet's. The police were thought to be called. They might have been called. I can't believe there's no police report that's coming from that. She ditched him while he was running in and out of the Mary Piglet's. She ditched him, took off up the road. He thought the police were coming. He ran into the woods and went again on a mission to find her, or went just into the woods. She drove up to the Spread Creek area and parked. Red, White, and Bethune came by, seen the van. The night of the 27th, she camped alone at Spread Creek. She was alive. She camped out there in the woods alone. And she stayed at the campsite by herself. At that time, Brian was out there hiking the Snake River looking for her. He got service on his phone. He found the dirt markers, which would lead him north up by Coulter Bay. Night of the 27th, he headed up north towards Coulter Bay. Day of the 28th, he got up near Coulter Bay. He took a shower. He's still looking for her, still searching. He might have even went as far north as the furthest north one on the map of the possible dirt markers. So maybe he didn't go to Coulter Bay first. He went to this one, which is 4R1 Backcountry Campsite. So he left Mary Piglet's and he went all the way up here where he thought she would run to, which is in Yellowstone on the night of the 28th, or the day of the 28th. He went to this campsite. She's not there. He had to make his way back south. She's still at Spread Creek. Day of the 28th, he comes back down. He hits the Grassy Lake Road campsite because he's following the dirt markers. He looks for her, doesn't find her. So now we're coming into, what day did the first hitchhiking lady say she picked him up, Kathy? On what time?
First hitchhike lady picked him up about 5:30 p.m. north of the crime scene.
Yeah,
dropped him off southbound parking lot, Jackson Lake Dam, Wyoming at 6 p.m. So she was in the car with her about a half hour.
The 29th, right?
29th.
Yeah. So he had went all the way north up here, the 28th, looking for her. Didn't see her. He made his way back down. By that time, it was going into the 29th. He's enraged, still looking for her. He thought she went all the way up this north, and she didn't. He comes back down south to the Grassy Lake. He doesn't find her. By the time he gets to the Grassy Lake, it's the 29th around 5 p.m.
Yeah, she picks him up at the Coulter Bay Showers.
Which is not far. Which is right
and then
here.
Dropped him off by the dam.
Which is right here is the first hitchhike pickup spot. So if he went to this, here's the marker right here of possible sites they would have went. That's only, let's do a measurement. That's about 15 miles from a possible place they went. So he made his way back down to Coulter Bay. By that time, it was now the 29th around 6 p.m. where he got picked up by the first hitchhiking person, drove back down. He checked the dam to see if she was at the dam because he had checked all these other spots by now and he ain't seen her. So he checked the dam and he told the girl to let him out because he's so enraged. That's why he wanted to jump out the car because he's so mad he can't find her. He gets out at the dam. He hikes back down a little bit, and then he gets picked up by the second hitchhiker, and he's like, damn, she's got to be at Spread Creek. Because it's marked on the possible go-to spots, too. So he takes the second hitchhike ride to Spread Creek, and that's when I believe she died, on the night of the 29th. That's my theory on what all went down. And me and Kathy were debating on these theories. When we were off the live, we were debating them. But it's such a, I don't know. It's terrible having to put your own mind inside of someone that could possibly just murder someone in cold blood like that. It's horrible. But so what I'm going to work on, guys, is getting this presentation coupled with the map on I want to get this coupled with the map so you guys can have a copy of this alongside the map. And these are the TikTok videos that a lot of people probably haven't seen, and I added them at the end because you don't know really the correct dates when. It's compilation videos of their whole trip, and a lot of people didn't see these. But see, I think we saw this first one, but we might not. Yeah, we saw that one, but we didn't see this one or this next one. So what do you think, Kathy? So you think she died on the 27th, right?
Sometime between the 27th and the 28th. I think the hitchhiking night, it's hard to tell if he was hunting for her because he was trying to get her to make up for him, and then they got in a fight, and then he killed her after the hitchhiking, which was the 29th. But Mom got the Stan message on the 27th. The same day as the van video and Piglets. So it's like, it's somewhere between that 27th and middle of the night on the 29th. It's going to be really hard to pinpoint it. And with the coroner not being able to give us a time, if we don't end up with an eyewitness or something, it's just like, that's the time we're stuck with for right now.
Right.
As best we can pinpoint it. Now, Brian, if they find him alive and question him, and he's a nice guy, he might pinpoint it, but I don't know. I think he's lawyered up, clamming up. Parents have money. They're going to get him a good criminal defense attorney if he gets caught, and a lot of this we're not going to know.
Well, I think...
Unless the FBI has a lot more data information and witness information than we even know about. We're getting all our stuff online.
I think that Brian better not kill himself, and he better bring his ass forward, because otherwise his parents is going to jail. That's what's going to happen. Because if they never find Brian, what do you think's going to happen? They're going to go after his parents.
Well, that's why I think the lawyer should not be speaking and should tell them not to speak, because there could be civil lawsuits filed for money and also criminal lawsuits if the Petito family really wants to push this. So it's like, I think the best thing right now for the Laundries to do is clam up and not talk. Whether he's dead or alive, they need to just shut up.
Basically, the police have this tactic where if they think they can use you in an investigation, they're not going to... They'll hold off arresting you until they have no choice. Like, they could have arrest warrants already for the Laundrie family and hold off on them. I watch investigation channels all the time where they do that to people.
Well, the warrant when they went into their house, that warrant is sealed. So we do not know yet what they took and what they were looking for. The only warrant we got to see was the warrant for the van. I've got hang on a second, let me pull up something. I've got a link here.
I just seen in a police video investigation I was watching where it was a couple, a man and a woman, and they had the arrest already ready for the woman, but she was giving away facts. They had thought both of the parents killed their daughter or something like that. But one of them was giving out facts about what happened and the other one wasn't saying much. But they were going to arrest both of them. But they held back from arresting the one because she was telling more of the story than the other. So they catered to her because they knew they could get info from her and made her feel like they're not going to arrest her. But they're going to arrest him and blame him. And then in the end, they arrested both of them.
Now, they would have to prove that they helped him in order to arrest him. And I don't know how much information they've collected to be able to actually prove that.
Right, I agree.
You know, if they find backpacks of books or different things and they find the parents' fingerprints on them or DNA, it's like when you live in a house with somebody, it's normal for your DNA to be all over each other's stuff. So it's like, that's not going to be enough to nail them.
Right. I agree.
You know, if they find him dead and there's a water bottle and his dad's fingerprints are on it and it's right next to the body, that doesn't mean he didn't grab it out of their fridge and throw it in his backpack. You know, so it's like, it's going to be really hard to nail these parents unless they've collected some really good information on them.
I agree. I guess we'll just have to see where the case goes from here, guys. I think we put in a good amount of work here on this case. Like, you're definitely not seeing investigation work like outside of the FBI than what you're seeing right here on the Truth Tracker channel. And definitely subscribe to Truth Seekers channel. Add that in the comments, Kathy, because look, we ain't playing, guys. We try our best not to just come on a live and just chat. We try to actually show, look, we're putting in work. But I think a lot of this case, I think we've done the homework on this case as much as we can to this point now. I don't think we're going to, in the next live streams, we're going to be digging this deep into maps and all this stuff. We're going to keep building on it. So make sure you definitely go online and you get the link for the map so you can build on it yourself. But we're going to be
You should put the
that.
link to the map in your comments and pin it as the top comment.
Okay.
So when they come back to your channel to watch this live stream, they know where they can find that map. Because there's 20 people watching right now, but when you did your live last week, like within a few hours, 500 people had watched it. Right. So there's other people that just aren't watching the live stream, but they are watching it, or they'll watch it, in an hour or two later tonight.
Right. So
I would put the link to the map as your top comment and pin it. I do that to a lot of stuff on my channel just so people know where to find stuff. I'm all about putting the links to the documents and stuff. I don't like when people just make videos and they just spew a bunch of BS and they don't really, research and have the facts and all that stuff. I mean, it's okay to have a little bit of chit-chat BS going on because it's like everybody wants to talk about the case. But when you've got factual stuff like documents from court and, the document for your map and different stuff like that, I like to have the actual links in my description. So, it's not just like people watching for information. It's for people that are actually digging for information, and your pieces can go together with their pieces and make a bigger picture, And it's like, I figure that's kind of how some of these puzzles get solved, is everybody putting stuff together.
Exactly. And we were also working towards a Brian Laundrie sightings map, but I guess that's on hold for right now until we find out what's going on with what just occurred. But TX guy, civil cases. Yeah, that's true. That's true, TX guy. Elisa, hey, Elisa. I know I haven't been interacting with you guys in the comments too much. I kind of been letting Kathy take a hold of that, but that's because I'm trying to shorten the lives and not make them drag on forever like they've been doing. But like I said, in future live streams, it's probably, we put in the homework now. So I think me and Kathy are going to do more live streams now, talking with you guys and talking the latest subjects. Instead, we'll always have this in the background to compile information and character profile information. But our next lives will probably dig into what's going on with the case and if any new updates come. But
well, Tex had mentioned in there, make sure you make your video with this slide presentation and just post it on your channel. It doesn't have to be in a live. Just when you've got a couple hours to just sit there by yourself, just like put a video together of that whole slideshow, because that's going to be really cool for people to watch. Because they can review it and go back and forth and review and fast forward. And I call it the slideshow, but it's the PowerPoint. That's like really interesting.
Right.
So that and the map are like great.
Right. I think what we're gonna do is maybe I can get Kathy to do it with me, and we'll plan it out how we're gonna run through it together in a way. I have to plan it out, but I'll definitely get on top of that for you guys. Motor Vessel, what's up, Motor Vessel? Thanks, man. I appreciate you being here. I know you've been around the whole time, Motor Vessel. Thanks.
Yeah, Motor Vessel's been here this whole time. Lawrence got here late.
Lawrence? Oh, Lawrence. What's up, Lawrence?
You'll have to watch the beginning. This is a real long one. This is only 3.5 hours compared to the other one that was 5.
Lawrence is a girl, because I've been emailing. That's actually a girl. They're from Paris. She's from Paris. So her name looks like Lawrence, like a man, but it's actually a girl's name.
Oh, I totally
Lawrence.
Spelled her name. My spell checker spelled your name wrong. Sorry about that, Lawrence.
Yeah, it's like Lawrence, I guess, or I'm not sure, but she's been emailing me, and she's really cool. So, hey, Lawrence, if I'm saying it right. Hey, I catch the end of the live just in time to say hello to everybody and rush back to the beginning. Yeah, this live stream, is very resourceful when you go back and watch this one. I know you've been following the videos a lot, but this one is basically now we brought all the information together and condensed it. That's where we're at now. So,
and a secret for everyone is if you're watching it again later from the beginning, if you go into your settings, you can change the speed. And if you put it at 1.25 or 1.5, it'll get through the live stream quicker and you can still hear what we're saying. Right. I talk really fast though, so you might not be able to hear me. You might have to keep it at regular speed. But I get through a lot of live streams that I'm watching, later on by going at a quicker speed to get through them.
So what I'll try to do is get up with Kathy tomorrow and try to get the presentation put out as soon as possible for you guys, and yeah, we'll just see how it pans out. If they find Brian Laundrie, I hope not, guys. I hope he's still alive and we catch him.
I hope they catch him alive. Yeah.
TX guy said you have no info on your page about you, Kathy. I don't have any info on my page about Kathy because I
got a whole page full of stuff. What are you looking for?
We both run different channels and came together, but we worked together since going a ways back.
Yeah, we've been working together. What, about over 4 years now?
Yeah, like there's a whole nother video series on this channel, and then on Kathy's channel of videos that are us working together in different ways of other cases. But yeah. What up, Sean?
Sean's been here. Sean's the one hunting for your little pot.
I know, I remember. And I don't want to say her name because I'm not sure if I'm saying it right. I hope so. Lawrence. I'm guessing Lawrence. Thank you, Lawrence. Email me anytime if you guys have any documents you want me to look over. I did see you guys sent me some emails that I haven't got a chance to get back to. I've been working on this and then work and then under the weather. But I'm going to get back to all your emails. And definitely comment. I answer all my comments, even if I'm a day or two late. I'm sorry about that, but I answer all of my comments. And definitely subscribe to Truth Seekers channel. And I think that about wraps it up, right, Kathy? Do you have anything you want to
I think you did great. Yeah, tonight's gone really good.
I think it was okay. I just, I am. I guess I'm super picky. I don't know. I try to make sure I get it across.
Sean likes it when they're scheduled. The reason they haven't been scheduled is because we've been planning on doing them early, and then we get in Messenger talking back and forth and adding this and adding that,
right.
And it ends up getting too late. So we say we're going to do it tomorrow. Then we start doing it and polishing it and getting it all perfect again. He's a real stickler for perfection. So finally today I messaged him. I'm like, look, shit hit the fan. They found a body and the gears are going to change in the next couple days. So we need to get this part out now because stuff's going to change. Not necessarily in his presentation, but it's like the focus is going to shift to that body they found and the remains. So it's like we needed to get this out tonight. So we didn't really have time to schedule it for tomorrow and have a lot of time to give everybody a heads up. But the original plan was to post around 2 or 3 in the afternoon on the night we were going to do it. And tonight we were still working on stuff and he had come home from work. Yeah. So that's why this one was kind of last minute. It was like we needed to do this and get this going because we figure tomorrow and the next day is going to be totally strange with the other stuff. And I didn't want this to get skipped over because everyone had moved on to the topic of the new body they found. So we might end up doing just a chit chat live in the next couple of days to talk about whatever comes out in the news the next few days about, what they found and the details about that. But I thought that this map and also this slideshow stuff was really important for him to present as fast as possible.
Yeah, she was pushing on me. She's like, you got to show this. And I'm like, are you sure? Are you really sure people are going to want to see this? Yeah. I'm like, okay.
No, Tex, you're talking about you want to see what we look like?
Yeah, hey Sean, with the notifications, like Kathy was just saying, it's really falling back on us. But yes, YouTube's notifications are terrible, but our notifications have been a little whack because we've been kind of random with it a little bit. But yes.
Oh, I've got the perfect way for you to end, and we talked about this earlier.
What's that?
Say goodnight to everybody and end the show with Jimi Hendrix, Star Spangled Banner from Woodstock. I just put the link in the chat.
All right.
That is an excellent way to go out with a bang for the night, and then we'll do another live in a few days or a couple of days when we find out what's going on.
Customize and save with Liberty. So I clicked your link in the chat, and it opened the video in the chat. I ain't never seen that happen before.
Where do I need to send it to? Your messenger?
I can probably just pull it up. Hold on one second.
I sent it to Messenger now, so maybe that'll work better for you, because you're on the Skype thing still, and we're still in the chat.
Yeah.
August 1969. This is Jimi Hendrix. Everybody have a good night, and thanks for coming into the chat. And I hope the links we posted were helpful for you. And watch for us again. Thank you, Bridget. Chris has really done an amazing amount of information. I kind of go through the internet and research and fact check and make sure his stuff's correct. And I give him a couple things he's missing. But putting together that map in this presentation, that's him. I'm not technical enough to put together that Google map link he put together. What? I can go on and maneuver and tell you what to look for, but it's like I could never put something like that together, or this slideshow PowerPoint he has. So he's the technical guy.
Well, thank you, Kathy.
I didn't even know how to use Skype. He had to give me lessons before we came on, because I usually do StreamYards.
1969 was the year you said?
1969, August of 1969, at Woodstock. If I gave you the right link.
I didn't pull up the link. I'm just searching it on YouTube really quick, because I have the web page open.
Oh, just put in on YouTube, Jimi Hendrix, spelled Jimi. Star Spangled Banner,
National
Woodstock.
Anthem, right?
It says Jimi Hendrix National Anthem USA and in parentheses Woodstock 1969.
Yeah.
Yep, you got it.
All right, guys. Well, thank you, Kathy, for all your compliments for doing that. I just really wanted to help the case, guys. And at the same time, if you guys are sticking around and viewing the videos I'm putting together, I really want to help you guys, and I really want to work with you guys. And I have high expectations for myself. So if you're watching my video, I feel like you deserve to see something you haven't seen, not just talking. Even though I feel like in our next live streams coming up, it's going to be a lot of me and Kathy talking, but we want you guys to join in on that. And the reason why we can talk now about it and have live streams where we're just talking is because we did all this homework to back it up. So if you tune in,
don't forget the bubbly.
If my computer would pause, if you tune in on the future live streams and we're just talking, please don't judge us for that. You've been watching, you've seen all the homework we put in, and I promise I'm going to keep giving you guys stuff that you've never seen before. And also, you're definitely going to want to check out when I go on my explorers of unknown places and historical places, because I do that too. So you definitely want to stick around and check those videos out. And I'm an awesome drone pilot. If I had the coin, I would fly out to Wyoming right now for you guys and fly my drone over the whole place.
You can go on his channel and see his Disney videos with his drone he took. It is like classic beautiful.
So yeah, those videos are definitely, I have videos from Miami, which is right in Brian Laundrie's neck of the woods right now. I was just out there a couple months before, while they were on their trip. I was in Miami. So you definitely want to check those videos out, and you definitely going to want to stick around for the Truth Tracker investigation series. I also have Las Vegas videos to put out yet, Kathy, that I haven't put out yet. So
yeah, we both got a playlist on our channel of more Las Vegas videos than you can imagine.
Right. So definitely, I appreciate all of you guys for sticking around and watching. And these live streams are long and like sitting in school scientific process. And all of you guys have stuck around. Fran, Sean, Lawrence, Bridget. I've seen you've been sticking around. TX guy is new, but he's been sticking around. So many people that I can't even name them all. Chris Thompson, he ain't been here recently, but
I sent Chris a link. He must not be home.
yeah, he must be working or something. But so many of you great guys reaching out to me. I really appreciate it. Shoot me an email
Phoebe
anytime.
was in here too, and Noob was in here. Sean did a lot of help in here, giving us information.
That's awesome.
I'm scrolling up to see who we missed. Elisa was here. She had to leave early. Motor Vessel's been here the whole time.
All
Did
people
you
that
kind of get
been
everybody
hanging out.
else?
Yeah, Lisa.
There's a lot of people that are watching that don't like go in the chat. They just listen.
Yeah. Ken said, if Brian is still alive, what do you think prison would be like for him? How long would he survive? Not long. Not long. I think he would survive, but he wouldn't be living a good life if he gets convicted and is guilty. But yeah.
Yeah, I think he would just have the basic prison life. I mean, I don't think he's going to get like, beat like a child molester would or anything like that. But he's a pretty little guy to go to prison. He's going to be someone's bitch.
Right. If he gets convicted and is guilty, right?
Right.
All right, guys. Well, we're going to sign off, rock out some jams, and then sign off. I hope everybody has a great night. Anything you want to say, Kathy, before we
Nope,
sign
I'm
off?
just waiting for the song. I love this song.
All right, guys.
Everyone have a good night. You're
Everybody-
showing the video of it, right?
Yeah. Everybody have a good night. I will catch you guys on the next live stream. Chris, members, please. Got you. Members. Yeah, shoot me a message, Sean. Night, Bridget, and we're going to rock out. Everybody have a good night.